this. Tickets to all playoff games are available now. Take your seat. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase your tickets today.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday midweek edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex over there, hermetically sealed in the Harman Solar Control Room. That's the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. Coming along here in about 20 minutes or so, Ralph from Harman Solar will be joining us on the program. Jeffrey taking a day off today. My name is Daryl McCourty, long lost brother of Devin and Jason McCourty. Of course, you know the McCourty twins. They went to Rutgers, played Patriots. They've had a wonderful career. I'm the older brother that they never knew that they had. Long lost Daryl. I'm the other brother, Daryl.
I imagine that this is going to be a shock to them.
Yeah.
To find out.
I don't have any athletic abilities like they do. Of course, Devin, he's the faster of the three of us. He ran the 4.41 in the 40. And of course, we all used to kick it. They don't realize that I'm their long lost brother. So it was kind of weird there for a while. But anyway, something that I'm the secret mom and dad never told them.
That's pretty messed up for them to do. That's one hell of a secret.
Surprise! Welcome to a 3-hour version of the Daily Blender. Lots happening today. And not so much breaking news. We kind of figured it was going to happen. Cardinals announcing they have sought permission to talk to head coaching candidate old pursed lips, and they have been given that permission. You think about that. They're moving fast. They're just getting right on it. I say it's good. I say it's good that we get Sean Payton well acquainted with this team. Are you surprised that it's taken them a full 20, almost 36 hours? To get on the phone with them?
I'm not surprised, because I think that everybody kind of had to figure out which way the Saints were going to go with this thing. Because the Saints could, of course, just shut everything down and be like, yeah, no, we don't. We're not entertaining anything. But it seems like they've moved on. They're not going to try and hold this process up. But obviously, you go get a Sean Payton. The other thing is the Saints know that they want something back in return for that contract. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes. But no, I'm not surprised, because they weren't the only team interested in Sean Payton, and I think the Saints were making sure they went through their process before they fully opened up everything to the rest of the league.
Also, We'll talk more about that as the program goes on. Of course, you're texting in on the text line, 888-368-1580. I understand the text line has had some sort of update. And I'm not sure. It's supposed to be working. I'm logged in. We'll see how well it works today. Jeffrey sent me a text a while ago saying the text line is all good to go. So we'll see. I forgot to mention that at the top of the show. Also in news today, Damar Hamlin heads home. Released from the hospital. Is that surprising to you, Keon?
It's not, right? I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Damar Hamlin was jumping up and down when Nyheim Hines returned that touchdown against the Patriots, and he set off all kinds of alarms because he was making so much noise. So it just seemed like he was actually on really good pace to end up going home, and good for him. I could not be happier for the guy, for where we started this, and it got pretty scary. And, were we really going to watch somebody die on a football field? For us to start there and wind up with him going home, it's the best story that's happened in the NFL all year.
Going to talk about that a little bit today on the program. Donovan Mitchell drops 46 in last night in his return to Denver, to the Mile High City, but the Cavs lose. We'll talk about that. Hey, look, Carlos Correa and the Twins have a deal.
Hey, it's finally happened.
Yeah, they've had the physical and everything. And even though he's got a plate in his ankle, the Twins are like, we'll go with this.
It just feels like the Twins knew about the plate, whereas everybody else seemed surprised by it, which I don't think it was something he was hiding. So I don't know how that happened, but he's been on 3 teams this offseason so far.
Yeah. The Giants and the Mets, and now back to the Twins. Notice the Astros didn't jump in on this bidding. Interesting. All right, so we've got some NBA stuff. We've got some NFL playoff news to talk about this fine day. Beautiful day outside, broken clouds. Just absolute perfect for this time of year here in Phoenix, Arizona. The Suns last night broke a 6-game skid in Golden State. And they ruined Steph Curry's return to the hardwoods last night. Talk about that in just a moment here. I do want to go back to this Damar Hamlin thing. There's so much to be gleaned here, but I'm kind of perplexed, Keon. I want to run this by you for a second. There's been so much press about Damar Hamlin, what happened on the field. There's even been, now we've got the Madden game is removing any celebrations that include CPR. They're removing that, which I have a thought on that. We'll talk about that later. But there's also been a lot of conversation about how oppressive the NFL is, specifically to black players. And I'm kind of lost in the weeds on this one. Listen, this is a great story. Damar Hamlin going home today, being released from a Buffalo area hospital 9 days after suffering a cardiac arrest during a Monday Night Football game. We all saw it. We all witnessed it. And this is a tremendous story of healing. It's a miraculous recovery for a young man that almost, well, he did have a life-changing event on the football field. But I'm just not comfortable with some of the headlines I'm seeing and some of the stories I'm reading, because I think it omits the full picture. I don't know if you have seen any of these stories, but what are your thoughts on hearing some of this writing that's out there?
I don't know exactly the one that you were talking about referencing black players. I know that I saw one that was basically just pointing out the inadequacy of the NFLPA, which I think is fair. I don't know when the right time to write something like that would be. Obviously you don't write that the day after he's in the hospital, but now that he's obviously fine, now that he's being released, is it now time to start questioning some of the ways in which the league operates? Because and you were the one that said this the other day, we don't necessarily know exactly what was wrong with his heart. A lot of people think it was the impact
Mhm.
that caused the cardiac
But there
arrest.
hasn't been any medical,
Exactly.
data to back that up.
There's no evaluation yet. So without knowing, I do think you have to ask some other questions. We know for a fact, as NFL fans, people who have consumed this sport, people who watch interviews, watch players talk about it. When a player wants to get ready for game day, they're shot up with everything. You know the pharmaceuticals that they're given just to make it through a game. Sometimes it's absurd. That stuff can't be good for your internal organs, your heart, your liver, or any of them. It just can't be. And I do think that it's time to look at the league and start pushing back on this get ready, next man up mentality when it comes to players, especially who are dealing with nagging injuries, because what it takes to get ready on a game day, if it requires that you take some kind of drug that is shortening your life, that is going to be causing you bodily harm, you can't leave that up to players to decide in the moment, because your career is at max, 10 years?
Well, we saw the incident in Chargerville. Was it last season or the year before? Where was it Teddy Bridgewater that got his lung punctured?
It's Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor got his lung
that's how
punctured.
Justin Herbert got the start.
And was unable to play basically the rest of the season.
Yeah. And it was a doctor that did it. The doctor just put a needle in too far, hit his lung, and that was all she wrote. And that was, I believe, on the day of the game.
See, I think this is, like you said, I think this is the plight of every NFL player, not isolating one people group. I agree with you 110%. I don't know how to feel about that, because you look at some of these guys. Look at Gronk. He's a white player. He's had how many surgeries to his back? You think that's not going to interfere with his life later on?
It 100% will. I will say, and I hesitate to put words in the mouth of whoever wrote that article, because like I said, I didn't read it. Not that specific one, but I do know that the studies that have been done about not specifically NFL players, but just hospitals. Black people tend to have a rougher time in hospitals because doctors, and this is not something that they're consciously doing. It's more of an unconscious bias thing. Just assume that the pain tolerance is higher. And so people don't get the treatment that they need to the degree that they need. So I think that this is bigger than an NFL issue if you're going to go there. But as far as what happens in the NFL and the inadequate treatment there, I don't see how you can separate it when the whole league is a machine that chews up human beings and spits out football. I hate that. But it does need to be addressed. And I do think the big question is, you can question the league, but the NFLPA is supposed to be the union that protects players. So you do have to question the NFLPA, but I do think sometimes as fans, we've got to look in the mirror when the NFLPA and the NFL go to do negotiations and the players ask for some health thing. Do we want the football back so bad we don't let the NFLPA negotiate for these guys?
Well, we touched on this the other day when we were talking about the NFL representatives wanted the breathing tube out, and the medical doctors at U Cincinnati wanted to leave it in. No, we got to get it out. No, we got to leave it in. I am sickened to hear you say those stats about the American medical community with a people group, of the Black culture not being taken care of as equally as anybody else. That sickens me. But I have to say, I don't believe. I think if there is a travesty of not taking care of players, I don't think it's isolated to one people group again in the NFL. I think it's all of the players.
I mean, the NFL is so brutal. It's hard to figure out where one stops and where one begins. I don't know. And I'd love to see the article myself, because I do think that if you talk to players will tell you, they'll let you know, oh, this is definitely something that only affects some of us. And then some of those players are going to say, hey, this affects everybody. And I think that overwhelmingly, I think that that's an issue in the NFL that affects everybody. I mean, I was just reading an interview with Julian Edelman where he was just talking about all of the drugs he's had to take just to play, especially in those final years in New England.
Yeah.
Just playing was an entire ordeal that involved, 6 or 7 shots on game day.
Well, I got to tell you, this is a Damar Hamlin going home, being released from the hospital. Thank you, God, and thank you, everybody who has shown such great support. Thank you, medical team. Thank you, first responders that took care of Damar Hamlin and took care of him in an excellent manner. And we're all thankful that he's up and moving around. And who knows? Maybe he does come back and play professional football at the NFL level. I think it's a great story, and I hate to see the kind of segregation that's going on here again. This has got to come to an end, man. We're all human beings. We all are just different by the color of our skins, but you cut us open, we all bleed red.
And I will say this, though, because if you want to question as far the NFL in particular as how the NFL hires things racially, when it came to the CTE payouts that the league had to do for all of their years of lying about it and saying it didn't exist, Black players got less money.
Well, that makes me sick.
Yeah, as it should. So when you start questioning the NFL on this particular issue, the NFL does have a track record of being just very wrong.
Well, that makes me sick. And on behalf of fans, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. On behalf of my family, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. But welcome home, Damar Hamlin. I hope you get better soon. And boy, that's got to be a real pickup for the Buffalo Bills, knowing that their brother is no longer sitting in a hospital room, but he's home. He's with his great family. He's going to recuperate and rehabilitate at home. And it's a great story. Let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Mr. Wilbur says, Randy, your little Temple football program, along with Colorado, got their hands slapped for trying to schedule a game in late August. Shame on them. Your little Tempe football program, along with Colorado. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes, Mr. Wilbur. That was an interesting story I ran across today. Coach Prime and ASU trying to schedule a game. And then Coach Prime, well, he didn't do that game any favors. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Berg is on the text line and says, waiting for the big George Tech that the NFL is rigged and fire everyone. Well, he hasn't texted in yet, Berg. Hope you're feeling well today. Blissful Hay says, good afternoon, Randy and Keon. Congratulations to the Suns on their victory last night. The Suns don't even need Booker, Ayton, Paul, and Johnson. Well, apparently not against the Warriors. And thank you very much. And Pickle D, I'm not sure. Drugs are bad, okay? Well,
yeah, well, that's not that's true, but it's not a rule that's often followed in the NFL locker rooms out there.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the show. All right, 888-368-1580. The Daily Blender going out on these airwaves here today on the program. Later on, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets to the GCU basketball game for tomorrow night. It's hippie night, you know. When UT, who is it?
Arlington.
UT Arlington comes to take on the Antelopes, the Killer Antelopes, in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, at the big epicenter down there at GCU. We got 2 tickets for you. We'll be giving those away. Be listening for your chance to call in and win here on the big flamethrower. 888-368-1580. I apologize if you hear me sniffle or cough every once in a while. I'm a bit under the weather, playing injured today, but that's the way we McCourties do it.
Of course.
Speaking of McCourty, Suns in Golden State last night at the big arena, needing to get a win. They've lost. They've been on a 6-game slide here lately, and they've been hammered every which way but loose. And last night didn't appear was going to be any better. as Steph Curry was coming back to join the reigning world champions. But it got ugly at home for Golden State last night as the Suns defeat the Dubs 125-113. It wasn't even as close as the score would indicate for most of the night either. I mean, if Phoenix had their number last night, every which way but lose. Give me your estimation on the game from last night, Keon.
Yeah, I think the Suns just were able to score in a number of different places that the Warriors simply weren't able to. I mean, the guard play is about the same there with Mikal Bridges and Dwayne Washington matching Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So that's weird. But, when you look at what the Suns did to really pull away in that game, I think you got to give Torrey Craig and Dario Saric a lot of credit for what they've done. And Torrey Craig has obviously been in championship situations before. He played with the Bucks when they beat the Suns for the title. Mm-hmm. And then Dario Saric is a former first round pick in this NBA. So it's not like that dude can't play. And so you have a team out there that can compete. It's not the best version of this team. You will never convince me that they are better without DeAndre Ayton. You won't convince me that they're better without Devin Booker. But this is still a deep basketball team. It's one of the strengths that the Suns have.
Yeah.
And then when you look at what the Warriors were able to do, Klay and Steph showed up. Nobody else really did. Andrew Wiggins gave them 10, and then they didn't have anything, down low out of, the bigs down there.
Yeah. Kayvon Looney had 1 point just to give you a thought there. Draymond Green had 5 points. Steph Curry had 24. Jordan Poole had 27. Klay Thompson had 29. Andre Iguodala got in the game about 13 minutes, but he only helped it with 3 assists and 2 points.
And then he got himself ejected.
Yes. Yeah. But a big win for the Suns. Needed that. We will go on and see how the Suns fare down this stretch here. But boy, you've got to give kudos. You got to give kudos to the Phoenix Suns to stand up last night. And especially, talk about somebody that bailed you out, Mikal Bridges. I mean, late in the game, that block late in the game. I don't know if you had a chance to see the game.
I did. Yeah.
But he brought his A game last night, going 41 minutes, 26 points. Phoenix Suns, even Ish Wainwright got in the act last night for the Phoenix Suns. That was good to see.
Yeah, they're deep, and a lot of people get on DeAndre Ayton's case, and they need him to step up, and rightfully so. I'm not even saying that you're wrong there, but the person I'm more interested in stepping up is Mikal Bridges. I want to see more games like this out of him because he's more than capable of it. He is a capable scorer. The dude can play, and then he's a great defender as well. One of the best perimeter defenders in the league, if not the best one. And so I want to see more of these kinds of games from him because when he plays well, he gives the Suns another dimension because of how many different ways he can score from. He's a very underrated scorer in this league.
Yeah. Golden State was ice cold last night. They just couldn't shoot anything. They couldn't even shoot free throws. Phoenix had 93.5% from the charity stripe. Golden State at 77. I mean, this is not a Golden State team that is in mid-season form here. This is a team still struggling to get out of the blocks and get things going. But anyway, congratulations, Phoenix Suns, 125-113. We got to take a break. When we come back, more of your texts. We'll talk a little more NBA action. There was a lot of fun last night. We got some NFL playoff news. It's on the Daily Blender, folks, on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns are on the road in San Francisco. They'll take on Golden State. The Warriors, a 12-point home favorite, minus 700 on the money line. Phoenix plus 500 with an over-under of 229.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest-rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Starting off the new year right is so easy thanks to Kohl's. My friend and I shopped there, and with the extra 15% off, we got tech gear activewear for under $23. Plus, we each found a NutriBullet blender for less than $90. And we saved 50% off Champion sweats on sale and clearance. Bonus, you can save more with a Kohl's card. More savings at Kohl's means more ways to hit those goals. Select styles, 15% offer ends January 16th. Champion sale and clearance offer ends January 22nd. Coupons do not apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd.
It's awesome.
I love it. It's great for the family. All our kids love it. That's why we come here every year.
Good times can be had by all.
It's the best time we have every year. It's a great time for everyone. Join us at the Renaissance Festival! Huzzah!
Come and have a turkey leg.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Bashers and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
You come out here and you really have a good time. My kids love it.
There's lots of shops to go to. Hair braiding, blue face painting. Oh, and I really like the meat sticks, the turkey. Whoa, huzzah!
There's so much going on. Make sure you come out early and stay all day.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Bashers and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
It's time once again for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. First prize is $1,580 from Harmon Solar. Second prize, a Zebra e-bike from Hemingway. And $500 third prize from Harmon Solar. Sign up today. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. From your home for the NFL in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's a midweek edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. I'm Daryl McCourty, the long-lost triplet of the McCourty twins. Something that Devin and Jason didn't know about. Kind of a cruel joke. Over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. He's inside the Harmon Solar control room there in the CRC Mega Complex in beautiful Scottsdale as we head towards 6 o'clock tonight. Jeffrey O'Brien not on the air today. We'll keep you posted on that. He is taking some personal time off. Right now, though, I want to remind you, the NFL wildcard weekend is here, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs is with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers can join today to get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Sign up with my promo code Randy1580. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to the point spreads to player props. Plus, you can even combine your bets for a chance at bigger payout with a same game parlay. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Football fans, don't miss out. Place your first $5 bet to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with my promo code Randy1580. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older and present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Let's go to the text line. Big George says, Randy, Keon, happy Wednesday. Sorry to hear Jeffrey is sick today. Hope he recovers quickly. Randy, I didn't know you bled red. I thought you bled maroon and gold and were a Sun Devil fan. Well, I mean, come on. Come on, Big George. Come on. Really? Stockton Slab says, without sounding too conspirational, constipated, we need to look into how COVID vaccines have affected athletes. Oh, really? Moving along. Stockton Slap, I appreciate that, but I think the tests go on as far as the COVID thing goes.
And because we have evidence of this happening before,
yeah,
this is not a thing that that's never once happened. So was it a COVID vaccine before this,
well,
or
just Stockton Slap is saying there were stats showing that prior to the vaccine mandates, sports-related cardiac deaths averaged about 26 per year. After the mandates, they skyrocketed to about 1,600. Might be something to look into. I agree. We need to keep our eyes on it.
But we also know that COVID as a virus affects the heart. So the idea that you would look into the vaccines and not look into what the virus does.
Just trying to figure out how he's conspiratorial.
Conspiratorial?
Conspiratorial. Interesting. Conspiratorial.
I don't know. I don't think you're trying to be a conspiracy theorist.
No, I don't think that's the case, but yeah, I agree. We have to keep our eyes open. Big Risk is saying, hey guys, great show so far. I've been very focused on topic, very informative. Is there a reason it's different today? And not that it's ever bad, but it's been really great today.
It was slightly warmer this morning to start the day. Maybe that's it.
King of Kittens says, what about tonight, Keon? Suns in Denver on the back-to-back Nuggets 14-point favorite. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm favoring the Nuggets, man. The back-to-back is always tough to come off of. And when you're shorthanded like the Suns are, you've got players who normally don't play a ton of minutes, suddenly playing lots of minutes. And they played well yesterday, but that usually indicates, you go off the back-to-back. I mean, any person who bets will tell you, it's hard to bet an NBA team on the second night of a back-to-back. It just doesn't generally work.
I thought I saw Ralph jump in there. Is he online? Ralph, are you there? Thought I saw him jump in. Ralph, are you there? Maybe not. All right. Anyway, we're waiting. We're efforting Ralph from Harman Solar to join us here. CK says Peyton is the max player, not Bridges. Peyton is the max player?
I think he means Ayton. Yeah, Bridges is not the max player either, but he did get paid, right? Like, am I wrong about that? He got a nice chunk of change. And like I said, DeAndre Ayton having to step up, I think the criticisms of that are fair. I completely agree. But I want to see more out of Mikal Bridges because this team ain't going anywhere without him. He's got to play better.
888-368-1580. The Last Optimist says on the CTE, the NFL made poor decisions to compensate players based on cognitive functions lost, as they had no baseline for judging cognitive function before player injury. They used baselines from the general U.S. population by race. The failures of our public school system were made evident in the lower scores from the Black U.S. general population. One assumes that this was an intentional apples to oranges comparison by the NFL in an attempt to lower payouts. Otherwise, they would have tested college student athletes for their cognitive function baseline.
That's what they got sued for. And they ended up having to settle, I believe, for I don't exactly remember how much the settlement was for, but it was a lot of money. They got sued for it, and last October they had to actually pay up the money. But the fact that they even went that way is pretty crazy when you think about it.
Berg's on the text line, 888-368-1580. Fire Big George, all in cap letters. I would scream it today, but I have just what I have as far as a voice today. Big Stanky says, someone been listening to Clay Travis, LOL. Who the hell's Clay Travis?
He's a talking head that does kind of dive sometimes in the conspiracy area of things. He's the guy that basically hosts a sports show and then decides, let's just mash the politics in here too. Even when it has nothing to do with the sports.
888-368-1580, the text line, efforting Ralph from Harman Solar. He'll be here, I'm sure, shortly. Donovan Mitchell headed back to Denver last night. Immediately got out of the bus at the arena, was very anxious about how Denver would receive him, but I understand it was a very warm reception, well received by the Denver Nugget fans. And then Donovan went onto the court for the Cavaliers, dropped in 46 points. But alas, the Cavs lose to Denver. So what'd you think about that last night? Donovan Mitchell, he's been playing. First of all, he's been playing excellent this past month or so. And last night goes in and reminds Denver what they had and why they should have treated him better.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell is somebody who really didn't enjoy the first team that he landed on. That happens to players sometimes. And it was a couple of factors. He thought that the fans in Utah could bring race into things where it just didn't belong. He didn't like that. And also the Rudy Gobert thing. Like, seriously, he didn't have a good relationship with Rudy Gobert at all. It was just Rudy's got a reputation of being a really hard guy to play with. And now that he's in Cleveland, where he's got teammates he likes a whole lot more, I think that is the reason why he's playing a whole lot better. And it's a great team that Cleveland has. It's not just him. They've got Darius Garland there, who's coming into his own as a player they've drafted, I believe, 2 years ago. So now he's in year 3 and he's finally hitting his stride. And everybody on that team just kind of complements everybody else. And I think that is very cool. And I think that it puts him in his best position to go out there and play really good basketball.
For a while there, Cleveland was running just on Donovan's energy. He put up a personal 10-0 run on his own and took the team on his shoulders and carried them. But it got into the fourth quarter, and Jordan Clarkson dropped in 15 of his 32 points, including 9 unanswered late to lift the Jazz past Cleveland. So they lead there. But I thought it was a good situation for Donovan Mitchell to go get that game out of his system. Now he knows he's not hated there, and he can go in there and play basketball, kind of not worry about it.
Yeah, and by the way, we do have Ralph. He's
I wasn't gonna mention he's wearing all that Seahawks.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can't hear him. The Seahawks chatter is in the way. I can't hear him too well.
Yeah, how about now?
Yeah. I hear you just fine, Ralph.
How are you guys?
Well, we're good. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry it took me so long.
No, it's okay. You're a busy man. We understand. We were just talking Donovan Mitchell and the return to Denver, and the Cavs, even though he had 46 points, couldn't get out of there with a win last night. Suns go in there tonight after a win over the Dubs. What do you think about that?
I think if you're talking NBA, I'm leaving.
All right.
All right, bye.
This has been Ralph from Harmon Solar.
Hold on. I have good news for you though, Ralph.
What's that?
Your Lakers. Anthony Davis is getting clear to return. He's wrapping up the rehab, and they're creating the runway to get him back on the floor.
Well, it's about time, because I had 5 in a row. I had Jeffrey on the ropes, and then LeBron's out, and he's out, and we lose.
Yes, but anyway, we'll get it back. That's good news. Good news.
Yes, indeed. All right, 888-368-1580. Carlos Correa. This is something you and I could talk about.
Yep.
Carlos Correa and the Twins have a deal, and the Twins got a great value because Carlos Correa was leaving. Originally, it was going to be $330 million or something with the Giants. Then it was 320 with the Mets, and now he signed a deal with the Twins, a team he was on last season, for $200 million. Twins got value out of this.
Did he really pass his physical?
Yeah, he passed it. It's all official.
But did he really?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he failed everybody else. All of a sudden, he passes.
He passed the physical to complete the 6-year, $200 million deal after everything he's been through this offseason so far.
I mean, it's good for the Twins. It's a good pickup. I mean, I wouldn't want him on the Dodgers. I know the Dodgers wouldn't even entertain it because of the fans would kill them. But yeah, I think it's a good pickup for the Twins.
So what do you know about Carlos Correa, and what do you know about this saga that he's been under?
Which part of the saga are you talking about?
Why the Giants and then the Mets wouldn't sign him?
Well, I thought they wanted to sign him, but then he failed the physical. That's what I've heard.
Well, it's not that he failed the physical. It's that what showed up concerned him, which is, you've got a metal plate in your ankle.
Well, yeah.
Or do we think that this is going to be something that's going to last for 10 years? And everybody said no. The Twins at $200 million, quite frankly, don't give a damn.
The Twins are desperate to get butts in the seats. They're desperate to do something. I mean, I'm not going to give this guy a 10-year contract. I mean, first of all, these 10-year contracts, they're ridiculous. Why are we doing this? We're giving guys 10-year contracts, and then in year 5, they start going like this. They're not worth it anymore. And that's when the big money kicks in. And then you got to release them, but you got the penalty release. I mean, I just don't like it. Like even the Dodgers did it with Mookie Betts. I don't like it. So
unless you get the guy under contract really young, it's just an insane thing to do. Like when the Angels gave Albert Pujols all that money for all that time, everybody looking at that knew. You didn't have to be a baseball insider to know that he's not going to age well through this deal.
And how old is Correa?
That's a good question. I didn't look it up.
Is he 30 yet?
Yeah, I think he's 31, 32.
Yeah,
anyway,
he's 28.
Oh, he's 28.
So yeah, he'll be 38 at the end of this deal. And most guys start falling apart at like 35. So it's just, it's not a great long-term deal, but for teams that are like, you know what, we know what our window is. We're okay swinging for a championship in the first 5 to 6 years of this thing. And we know we're just going to have to eat it on the back end. That's where a lot of this comes through.
Well,
what do you think, Randy? You think it's a good move for the Twins?
I think it's a good move for the Twins, and I think they got a good guy. I think Carlos Correa has proven himself to be an elite player right now at this level. He's in a great spot in his career. Now, if he twists that ankle and he destroys that ankle in some manner, turning a base or sliding or, something like that happens, fouling a ball even off the ankle, I mean, it could be some serious ramifications. But he got an $8 million signing bonus. He'll make $32 million for the first 2 years. In 25, he makes 36. Then the deal starts to go downhill. 31.5 at 26, 30.5 in 27, and 30 million in 28. I think it's a win-win for the Twins. It's a bit of a risk, but look, man, in this age of baseball, you got to take a risk. And Carlos Correa, he's a good ball player. I mean, as long as he stays healthy, he doesn't show too many signs of being injured often. He's in the lineup pretty regularly. I think it's good for the Twins.
Well, I heard the Diamondbacks were looking at him, but he just wasn't old enough. Is what I had heard.
Touche.
Yeah. When he's about 37, then the Diamondbacks will come knocking.
They'll give him a 10-year then.
Yeah. And with that, we will go to a break. We're glad that Ralph has joined us. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months, already in IT, build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
My king, you're up early. Awake, Merlin. I've had a dream that needs interpretation. Sorry, he turned into an owl and flew the coop 4 days ago.
Good sorcerers, seers, and mystics are hard to come by anymore. And given the inevitable uncertainties of life, insuring against calamity is always the smarter play. From benefits and workers' comp to home, business, and group health insurance, Cole Hayes Insurance will secure your future. For a free quote, visit mycommercialinsurance.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Got so much happening this week on the big flamethrower. Tomorrow night, college basketball, GCU taking on UT Arlington. It's hippie nights, and we have a pair of tickets to give away to you. Keep listening for your chance to call in and win. Friday night, it's AIA boys basketball, Scottsdale Christian at Mesa CC. I think it's Mesa Christian, something like that. 7:30, that'll be on the big flamethrower. Then Saturday, it's college basketball as Kentucky takes on Tennessee at 10 a.m. The NFL games begin. Seahawks at 49ers at 2. That will be on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3. The Chargers and Jaguars play at 6. And then more college basketball action. I mean, it's a ton of activity this weekend on 1580 The Fanatic. You can check the website for all the details. You can stay tuned to the station. We're all talking about it. Seahawks, 49ers. What are you thinking? I mean, I want to get your thoughts going into this, Ralph, before I read the text lines, because I can tell you have a warm welcome here lined up on the text line.
Do you want my real?
I want your real honest. I want your real honest opinion.
Okay. As a unbiased thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me forget I'm a fan real quick.
Yeah. Take your hat, move it around, cover up the Seahawk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The last time these guys played was a really close game. It was 21-13, I believe, was the final. This was week 15. So this wasn't that long ago. Seattle made 2 mistakes in that game. They were 2 very bad mistakes. They were fumbles that basically cost them 14 points. Without those 2 mistakes, Seattle's in this game. They maybe win this game. With that said, this is also a division rival. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. I don't care who you are. It's going to be a tough thing for San Francisco to win this game. Do I think Frisco wins this game?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they have a really good shot at winning this game. They're well stacked. They're just a better football team than Seattle right now. They've won 10 in a row. I mean, they're doing everything right. They're just not doing anything wrong. Purdy is fit in perfectly with the system. McCaffrey just helps him be better. The defense has done a good job. They should win this game. They should really win this game going away, to be honest with you. I think they can win this game by 14 points. Now, with that said, I hate saying all of that because I'm a Seattle fan, and I want to say I'm thrilled that they're in the playoffs. I thought they'd win 2 games this year.
Yeah.
That was really my thought. We talked about this, right? So to get where they've gotten with starting 6 to 7 rookies all year, as a fan, I'm absolutely thrilled with the Seahawks year. What a great year for them. What a great future they're going to have. Based on especially what they're going to do in the next draft. So I'm really pumped about that. But reality is I don't see them beating the Niners. Niners are a better team. I can admit that. I'm not that stupid, I guess.
I think that the 49ers are a good team. I think that Brock Purdy has fit in well. I agree with everything you have to say there. But this is playoff football. And everybody says when playoff football starts, things change. And I think what Pete Carroll has done over the years, he's made a lot of money and he's had a lot of success making subtle adjustments in the playoffs. And Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded head coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see some different defensive wrinkles to try to shake up little Brock Purdy back there and see if he can get into his head and make him make some mistakes. I think that's going to be key.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, all the flack that Pete Carroll gets, Pete Carroll's a great coach. He should be coach. He should be one of the candidates for coach of the year. He's done a great job this year. And you're right. I mean, he knows the Niners. He got to see them twice this year. He got to see Purdy a few weeks ago. He's going to make adjustments. He's a great defensive coach. I won't be surprised if Seattle comes out here and gives them a game and they find a way to squeak it out. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying it's not likely. But you never know when you got Pete Carroll, the way Geno Smith's playing, the way the defense has been playing the last 3 weeks, the running game's back with K9. So we'll see. I mean, if they can run the ball, that's the key for Seattle. If Seattle can run the ball, they're the most dangerous team around and they can win this game, but they have to be able to run the ball.
With that said, let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Berg, says Big George, leave Keon alone. He's all good. Pinocchio, Randy, pour me an Angry Orchard, please. Kind sir, sold out of hot dogs today. Well, hey, there you go. I mean, if you're selling out of hot dogs, Pinocchio, then that's good, right? King of Kittens has a warm welcome for Ralph. Suck it, Ralph. Yeah, big risk. Obviously, you meant Utah, so ignore that last text.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell going back to Utah. You accidentally said Denver, but obviously.
I meant Utah. Sorry about that. Thanks,
because you said Utah once and then you said Denver later, so obviously you meant Utah.
Well,
it happens.
Silly me. Must be the drugs. CK says, Mr. Vomit better wear all that C-Hack gear all week. Come Sunday evening, his season is over.
Well, actually, it'll be Saturday, the first game. So
I just read them. I don't read them.
Yeah, he's wrong.
Great Striper says, hey, Ralph, I was starting to sweat that Lakers 6-game winning streak bet. Thank you, Denver. There's still a half season, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it's going to go good for me.
Navy Devil says, can I go around the MLB circuit for a couple of grand? Can I go around the MLB circuit?
You mean as though you were Carlos Correa? Can you play baseball? At a very high level.
You gonna sell peanuts or what? I don't get it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where that was going. Is it a full moon? Big Stanky says, Ralph, I hear we have the same last night. Are you my long lost brother?
Last night?
What happened last night between you and Big Stanky? Go ahead. Give us some of the deep details.
Depends who Big Stanky is. I mean,
big Stanky.
Yeah. As I recall, nothing. So I don't know. I didn't take my opioids, drugs or anything last night. So I'm good.
All right.
I don't know.
I was just wondering since you had the same last night.
Sure, that's not Jeffrey.
No, it's Big Stanky, and he's saying, sorry, he just cleared that up. He says, name. So, Ralph, I hear we have the same last name. Are you my long lost brother?
So your last name's Romano. You're a Goomba.
He's a Goomba.
If you're a Goomba, that's my brother. You're a Goomba. Then we're related somehow, some way.
Unnamed texter says Correa was 6 years, right? 34 when it's over. He stands right before he falls off a cliff. Ends right before he falls off a cliff.
That's just smart by the Twins then.
Yeah, well, I think it's a 6-year deal. So Blissful Hay says, hey, Ralph, would you trade Geno Smith for Kyler Murray? Cardinals should draft a periscope with the third pick.
Why are they trying to
they can see over the line?
Then Kyler can see over the line.
Okay. Would I trade? No,
I would probably trade our head cheerleader for him, but that's
head cheerleader for Kyler Murray.
After the head cheerleader.
All right. Let's see. From not a new texter, but an unnamed texter. Suns getting it done on the road with their bench over the Warriors. LFG. I don't know what that means.
Let's bleep and go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Keon knows his stuff.
888-368-1580. We've talked a little baseball. We've talked some Suns basketball, and we are moving along here on Did you guys? Did both of you guys watch the national championship game?
I watched about a quarter and a half.
I had it tuned in the whole time, but I can't say I was fully paying attention after about, I don't know, after that fumble in the first quarter by TCU.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically just reading Twitter.
Well, I'm asking that because during the game, I guess Kirk Herbstreit on College Game Day before the game leaked that Coach Prime, let me see if I can find exactly how he said it here, leaked that Coach Prime had told him that they were setting up a game between Colorado and ASU in 0 week of the upcoming season. And I'm trying to find what exactly says. Sanders was on game day and he gave us some news, says Herbstreit, breaking news from Prime. They're actually not going to be opening up with TCU. Colorado's going to open up with Arizona State in their first game, and they're going to go play TCU in their second game. Looks like they're sneaking around there a little bit, but that was just told to me from Coach Prime tonight. Well, that didn't go over well. Apparently, the Pac-12 had approached both teams about this opportunity, but they quickly slammed the door on that when Deion Sanders opened his chops about it.
Which, guys, look.
Did you guys hear that on the TV?
I don't remember that, actually.
I hear that.
Which is interesting because I that would have stood out, but I guess that might have been the part of the broadcast where I was driving home from the station, so maybe I didn't catch that.
All right.
But yeah, I just think that coaches will tell broadcasters things, and maybe they don't suspect that broadcaster's then going to turn and tell everybody. Mm-hmm. But you got to make sure you say stuff's off the record, man. You do. You have to point that out, because if you don't, then someone's going to assume, oh, I can say this.
Well, it looks like that these plans of a sneak peek, an early game, a 0-week game, have been shut down. According to 24/7 Sports, officials stepped in and halted the progress of this game after Sanders had spilled the beans to Kirk Herbstreit on College game day. So I guess that's not going to happen after all.
I mean, I appreciate
Deion. I love Deion Sanders as a player. I loved his attitude and just how he played the game.
His swagger.
And he's done a great job as a coach so far. I think he needs to cool his jets a little bit, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a different experience in Colorado. I know he's bringing some talent in there. There's no doubt about it, but I don't think he's bringing the kind of talent in there that's going to beat the top teams in the conference.
So let me get your estimation, Ralph. What do you think Colorado does in their first season? They have a winning record. They have a losing record.
I see them as a 500 team first year, which I think would be great for them. It'd be an accomplishment. I think he'll be successful. I just think it's going to take some time to do some recruiting for a couple of years. But
Keon, do you know what Colorado did what the Buffs did last year?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know they weren't good.
Okay, it was like one game.
They had a very long losing streak. Right.
So Ralph says a 500 season. What do you say about Coach Prime coming to Colorado?
I think they'll be sub 500, but they'll be better than last year. It's just tough to win in Power 5 conferences, and when you haven't done it before, you do struggle with that a little bit. I mean, I mean with guys I think can really coach. I think the jury's still kind of out on Deion, because Deion's path is not a traditional path. He kind of skipped the whole process of moving up as a coordinator and everything else. But I look at a guy like Billy Napier at Florida, and he thought, oh, I'm going to go into Florida. Florida's got a ton of talent. I'm going to start winning some football games. And then, the Gators did have some good wins, but they also got dog walked by a lot of teams. And part of that is just that's a tough conference.
He turned around Jackson State, right?
Yeah. And Jackson State already had like fan support and all of this stuff. It's going to be different at Colorado, because you're going to have to win some of those fans back after how bad they've been.
Well, Coach Prime is coming to Pac-12 near you, and he's going to bring the Buffaloes back to relevance, I guess. We'll have to wait and see. The first thing he's got to do is quit telling Kirk Herbstreit secrets. Can't do that.
Might be a start. And if you do, say it's off the record.
I don't understand why they're canning it anyway, since he leaked it. I mean, what's the big deal?
I don't know. What could it possibly jeopardize? I have no idea.
All right, that's 1 hour in the can of this Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender. Hour 2 right around the corner. We'll be talking next hour some NFL playoff news. Should be a lot of fun. Can you believe what Jerry says about Dak? We'll talk about that. That's in hour 2 of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Be right back, Kane.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
NFL Wild Card Weekend is here, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs with the FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers join today to get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with my promo code RANDY1580. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line, point spreads, player props. Plus, you can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Football fans, don't miss out on your chance to place your first $5 bet to get $150 back in free bets, win or lose, with my promo code RANDY1580. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older and present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Starting off the new year right is so easy thanks to Kohl's. My friend and I shopped there, and with the extra 15% off, we got Tech Gear activewear for under $23. Plus, we each found a NutriBullet blender for less than $90. And we saved 50% off Champion sweats on sale and clearance. Bonus, you can save more with a Kohl's card. More savings at Kohl's means more ways to hit those goals. Select styles, 15% off ends January 16th. Champion sale and clearance offer ends January 22nd. Coupons do not apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2023 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 6th through the 12th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament information at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
That's WMPhoenix.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to the midweek edition of the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, January 11th, as we broadcast from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale. Behind the glass over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. No, Ralph, I'm talking about Keon Rose.
Yeah.
Next to him, that's Ralph from Harmon Solar, our good friend jumping in here instead of Jeffrey O'Brien, who's taking a day off. Maybe more. Keep you updated there. I think you know me by now. I'm Daryl McCourty, the missing third of the McCourtney twins.
Jeez. I was wondering why your name's so Daryl McCourty.
I'm the long-lost McCourty brother.
So you're McCourty, he's sexy, and I'm just a good friend.
You're Harmon Solar. Are you kidding me?
I'd rather be sexy, but okay.
No.
Can we switch Keon?
Keon's sexy.
I mean, I don't want to be Harmon Solar. That's the problem. Like, I got to keep my tag because your job sounds hard.
See, if you're Harmon Solar, that means you're hot.
Well, Keon, you're saying Keon's hot?
No, he's sexy. You're hot.
I don't know what
Ralph
the distinction is, but
except for that sea chicken gear he wears all the time.
Oh, well.
You know, Ralph's he's a good-looking man. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we're in a better place now.
Ooh.
Feeling better now?
A little bit.
The fourth dimension texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. One of those texts comes from Big George saying, Randy, I'm waiting for your hard-hitting analysis following Betty Fairfax's dominating performance last night against Cactus Shadows. Is Betty Fairfax for real? Who is Betty Fairfax?
That was one of the schools playing in the girls' game last night here on 1580 The Fanatic, one of the AIA basketball games. And Betty Fairfax, I mean, just absolutely steamrolled in that game.
Did they really? Cactus Shadows never had a chance, huh?
No.
Should have stayed on the bus and did their hair or something.
Or something. Yeah, because, I mean,
nails, not mani-pedi.
Not that they didn't show up to play. But
Betty Fairfax maybe they shouldn't have showed up to play.
Better basketball team. Yeah.
All right. 888-368-1580. Mr. Wilbur says Ralph is going with the full Pinocchio.
The full Pinocchio.
Is his nose growing? What are you saying?
Pretty big. I don't think it can get much bigger.
It's not the only thing big on Ralph.
There we go again.
Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Okay. do we have to bring Pippi No Stockings into this?
I guarantee you, if she's going to hear this, she's going to text something.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Start the countdown now.
888-368-1580. You guys always, you know how sometimes you're talking to one of your friends or something, and they come up with those great movie lines, you know? And there are still random movie lines that people are still quoting today. And here's some of the top movie lines people quote today. See if you follow along with this. Fourth Dimension. Be happy to jump in if you'd like to. Like this one from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. You guys ever said it?
I've never said that, even though I've watched that movie enough times that
I've never said that. No.
How about have you guys seen the movie Hot Fuzz?
I saw it once a long time ago, but
how is this for the greater good?
Yeah, man, I don't remember the movie clearly enough because I watched
the response to that is the greater good.
But
greater good.
It's a funny movie. I do recommend it.
All right, Finding Nemo. Have either of you watched Finding Nemo? Now I have grandchildren, so I've seen Finding Nemo.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So you know that one where the starfish is against the glass trying to say something, and it just comes out, and on the other side, I can't hear you, Peach. You guys ever say that?
No. I haven't said that. These are great lines, but I don't know how quotable they are. You got to keep going. We'll see if we
what
can
about
find one.
White Chicks? You guys had to have seen the movie White Chicks.
I have seen it. I still don't know how that movie got greenlit ever, but I have seen it
because it's funny. Yeah, I saw it.
Where the guy walks by one of them and he does the wolf, the wolf whistle. And one of them says to the other, hold my poodle, hold my poodle.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
I do remember that.
And I've never said that, Randy.
Yeah.
Come on, Ralph.
I never said hold my poodle.
How
hold
often
my poodle.
Do you get into a fight and then you think to yourself, I'm going to drop the White Chicks line? That's what
Instead of hold my beer, it's hold my poodle.
I might start using that one. I can't make it a thing. It's not going to be a thing, but I might uncover that.
Austin Powers, gold member. The line is, "How about no?"
Oh, I do say that one.
Yeah, I've used that many times.
Okay.
How about no?
From Bridesmaids. Come on, you guys have had to see the movie Bridesmaids.
I have seen it. It's another one of those where I've seen it once, and so I may not know the quote off the top.
I'm not going to use the actual word, but it's "Get your crap together, Carol." Have you guys ever used that?
I haven't used it.
I've used that before.
I have.
I've used that. I can't remember which guy I said it to, but I said that very thing to them. Get your crap together, Carol. And we both started laughing.
It's a good one. I haven't used it. Haven't used it.
All right. How many of you use the line from Shrek that says better out than in? I always say.
Wow. Never admit to that.
Come on.
I wish I had.
And he will.
And he will.
Then there's Frozen. The sky's awake. I'm so awake.
Can't. First off, that sounds like something a morning person would say. So I can't say that I
from the movie Frozen. Let's see. From The Incredibles. Where's my super suit? Come on.
No,
man.
yes, I have used that one. Not to anybody in particular.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't said it to anybody, but like when I'm usually it's when I'm trying to find, any of my my Washington gear on a Sunday and I can't find it because my room's a mess because I don't clean it.
Do you call out?
Yeah.
You call out, where's my? And then somebody else goes, super suit.
I wish my brother were the person to just fill in and just jump in on that one. No, I just say the whole thing myself. It's just knowing full well I'm the one that has to find whatever it is I'm looking for and wear it.
Can I give you my own personal line that I
use?
Yeah. I've used this on my wife a lot. So you might think this is bad, but I've done it.
Oh boy.
She'll always tell me, how come you never say you love me? And I said, well, I told you I loved you the day we got married. If I change my mind, I'll let you know.
What's that from?
Damn.
Yeah, ask her about that one. That's a good line.
Damn, that's
Come on,
not
that's
a good line.
Yeah, it is.
Straight fire.
Wow.
Use that, Keon, when you get married.
Don't use that, Keon.
It's good advice.
It's what not to do.
It's basically you've married a specific kind of woman who will find that funny, or it's a very good way to be unmarried very quickly.
If I'm around,
there's no middle there.
If I'm around either one of you guys and you say that, I'm gonna go run for it, Marty.
Run for it, Marty.
Have you guys seen the movie Hot Rod?
No, I haven't.
No, that's too bad. This is a great line. I need to use this line. It says, "I'm pumped. I've been drinking green tea all day." I mean, you got to say it like that too.
Okay. Got it.
Anchorman, the Legend of Ron Burgundy. Come on, clearly you guys have had to have seen that.
Seen that.
Where he's bedded down. What's her name? The gal, and he goes, "Right, when in Rome," and then she responds, "That expression really doesn't apply." No,
that is a funny moment. It's not the one I thought that they were going to choose from that movie.
Oh.
I love Lamp. That one, I say for no reason at all, very often.
That's good.
I'm going to take your mother out to a nice seafood dinner and never call her again. That's those are the ones that stick out. Yeah, so like those are the ones I thought would stick out more. But yeah,
screaming, shouting.
Wow.
I hate you, but damn it, I respect you. Let's see. There's got to be one more in here. There's got to be when you have a whiny kid. I want a hamburger. No, a cheeseburger. I want a hot dog. I want milkshake. You'll get nothing and like it. I've used that on so many kids.
I use it all the time.
I use that on all the time.
You'll
get
do not
nothing
have
and like it.
But that's going in the back pocket. Save that for later.
Or from Christmas Vacation. It's the greatest line when they're getting ready to pray over the meal. And somebody says, "Say grace." And somebody else says, "Grace? She passed away 30 years ago." That drops me every time, man.
I have debated using this one in my family. I just think that my mom would kill me. That's I would just ruin everything, and then she'd have to fit.
I wanted to say that. So my son's wedding was a couple of weeks ago, and he asked me to bless the meal. And I was hoping, I was hoping he was going to say, "Dad, would you say grace?" Because I was going to use that line. Grace? She passed away 30 years ago. Oh my God, that's funny. 888-368-1580. The Fighting Wampa says Kevin Givens is coming back for the 49ers defensive line. He's a big run stopper, and since he's been out, the Niners' run defense has not been as good. He's going to come up big in this game. What say ye, Mr. Seahawks man?
I say probably not. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear Keon's takes on this game.
Keon, what's your take?
I'm leaning towards the Niners on this just because of how stacked they are. I mean, just like you look at them, we were actually, I forget who. Maybe it was Tiger Paws that texted in, and she wanted to know who would the Niners draft, and it's like, who do they need really? Like they've kind of got every position filled out. They've got two quarterbacks they like. They've got an offensive line that's great. They can clearly run the hell out of the ball. They've got great wide receivers. The defense at every level is pretty damn good. I mean, where is the real struggle for the Niners? But at the same time, a divisional game, you play a team 3 times. That third time is always going to get weird. That's just how divisional games work. It's just hard to beat a team 3 times. Like even, the Rams, when they went to the Super Bowl and beat the Cardinals, lost to the Cardinals earlier that year. Like you just don't see it happen very often where a team has to beat a team 3 times and they actually do it. So I'm leaning to the Niners just because of the talent. And I think the Seahawks are ahead of schedule right now. Yeah, they went from being a rebuilding team to, oh damn, we're a couple pieces away. But the Niners are so good that I think the Niners are going to win it. But I can still talk myself into the Seahawks winning it just because of the way that they run the football, and the Niners, if they do have a weakness, it's that secondary to a degree. It's not, wide open like the Vikings is, but it is something that can be exploited off of play action. So if you run the ball really, really well, I think the Seahawks have a puncher's chance, but I'm leaning Niners on this one.
Cardinal Art is on the text line at 888-368-1580. Says, great show, guys. I hate to admit it, but Ralph is very correct about the Sea Chickens. I think if they run the ball, they win at least by 10. May now have a stiff shot of Shiva's regal. Go Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean that's Pete Carroll's formula. If he can run, he wins games. I mean that's what he builds his teams on. So that's why he gets great offensive lines put together. So
and I think that's the key for the Seahawks team. I think they've got to pass off the run. They've got to have a running game working. Or the 49ers, if the Seahawks go one-dimensional, the 49ers will eat them up.
Oh, I agree. And can you believe Geno Smith at 4,200 yards passing, single-season leader for the Seahawks?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's nuts. 30 touchdowns.
That's the story of the for me. That's the story of the year.
I do think that they did have a problem with Russell Wilson. As great as he was in Seattle, Russell Wilson did not like to play in the structure of the offense. And it resulted in a lot of great stuff, but it also resulted in kind of holding back the offense when guys started to get hurt. Eventually, where Geno just does what the play says. He doesn't really make up anything. He doesn't really go off script, and off of play action, he's been death to defenses. If they can really get that running game going, when they start to go play action off of that, that's where they get really scary.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Your fish tank is on the text line. Keon, do you do the anime? You do the anime?
Do I?
You do the anime?
I mean, if you mean by watch it, I mean, too much, probably.
And then he asks this question. Have you been enjoying Jamal Williams through the last game?
It just seems like a very sharp turn there, but Jamal Williams has been great.
I mean, there's tire tracks down on the road where he turned, moved on.
Jamal Williams has been great. Obviously, I mean, he broke Barry Sanders' single season rushing record, and he's been awesome. Granted, he did it in the 17 games. Barry still got it through 16, but the fact that you're even close is pretty damn impressive.
Let's see. CK says, something tells me Ralph wears the Just Friends title very well. Do you wear the Just Friends title?
Just Friends. Oh, with women or?
I don't know.
Well, Ralph's married, so.
I don't understand.
I'm not going to go anywhere.
At least one woman went further than that is what I'm trying to say.
I'm just happy to be sitting up today. I don't even know if I'm comprehending what I'm saying. Big Riff says, congrats to the Mountain Ridge senior girls, Maya Verse, for getting a full basketball scholarship to Georgia. FYI, she's the sister of FSU's D lineman Jared Verse, who's projected to go in the top end of this year's NFL draft. Congratulations, Maya.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good for you. Enjoy college. Enjoy Georgia. You'll be watching a lot of great football there. Chief says, I do say Samsonite a lot from the movie Dumb and Dumber when I'm so close.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I love that scene. That's so funny.
Yeah, I say that one a lot too.
1 in a million.
King of Kittens, in Florida, a whale beached itself. I don't know what happened. It was on the Spanish Channel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Pippi, no stockings.
There we go. Don't say it.
Ralph doesn't say I love you voluntarily, which is why I own a dog. Damn, she got you. Straight fire. Get some burn ointment for that.
Yeah, that's not the way she has a dog.
Pickle D says, hey fellas, I won GCU tickets for tomorrow. My buddy that I would normally take can't make it. Anyone want to join? I'm a little busy tomorrow. Kevin, you want to join? Pickle D?
Yeah, I'm going to be a little busy as well.
Keon's out. Ralph, how about you? You and Pickle D?
Maybe Pippi can go.
Pippi might go with you, Pickle D. We'll have to see what's going on there. Other than that, Big Stanky just sends in you guys keep sending in movie clips. I can't do that. But it's from the Office Space movie, which is, I mean, there's a I don't. There is a cornucopia of sayings there. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to work this Saturday. And you stole my
staplers.
You took my staplers. Jagdog says, "Oh, Ralphie, the 49ers game will mirror the Georgia versus TCU championship game. Keon, it's easy to beat a team 3 times in a row when they barely slide into the playoffs and suck. 49ers 41, Seahawks 9."
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, it's okay. The Seahawks barely slid into the playoffs because they're not even supposed to be here yet. Like this team was supposed to be rebuilding, and the fact that they have most of a functional team already should be pretty scary. And if this was going to be repeat of, Georgia TCU, then how come the last time you played them it didn't look like that, or the time before that when they were supposed to be much worse? What argument is this? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm hearing.
We've got to take a break here, but there's so many more texts I'll get to on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've got to talk about Jerry Jones and what he has to say. That'll be in our playoff news, NFL playoff news segment, which is around the corner, and more of your text here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
Starting off the new year right is so easy thanks to Kohl's. My friend and I shopped there, and with the extra 15% off, we got Tech Gear activewear for under $23. Plus, we each found a NutriBullet blender for less than $90. And we saved 50% off Champion sweats on sale and clearance. Bonus, you can save more with a Kohl's card. More savings at Kohl's means more ways to hit those goals. Select styles, 15% off ends January 16th. Champion sale and clearance offer ends January 22nd. Coupons do not apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck? Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Yeah, speaking of those games, they'll be coming up all weekend long as 1580 99.3, your home for NFL playoff action and Super Bowl 57. We've got you covered. Saturday, the Seahawks 49ers game at 2 p.m. on the Big Flamethrower. Meanwhile, on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3, the Chargers will play the Jaguars. GCU will be on the Flamethrower at 7:45 as they take on California Baptist. And Sunday, Dolphins at Bills at 10:30, Giants, Vikings at 2, Ravens, Bengals at 6, and then Monday night. Is this the first Monday night playoff game, wild card game?
I believe so.
I think this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cowboys at Tampa Bay, 5:30. Who you got? I mean, we're going to go through all our picks tomorrow, but What are you guys leaning toward on that game? Cowboys Tampa. I got Tampa Bay winning. I'm sorry, Cowboys just didn't show me anything in the last game.
Yeah, I watched Dallas implode in a game they were actually trying against a team that was starting a rookie at quarterback and had all kinds of defensive injuries. You can't do that going into the playoffs, especially when you have a chance to win the division and go in and have that home field advantage. I have no idea how the Cowboys kind of get their heads straight and focus for this game, but they've got to do it. I'm leaning towards Tampa as well, just because they seem to always get it together around this time of year as long as they have Tom Brady.
So Jerry Jones needs to just stay the hell off of radio and get out of it in front of cameras. I don't know if he's aware of this.
What did he do?
Jerry Jones, he says he's not worried about Dak Prescott. He says on 105.3 The Fan that Prescott has an excellent understanding of protecting the football and the Cowboys can count on him this postseason. Is Jerry aware that Dak Prescott has thrown an NFL high 15 interceptions during the regular season this year?
I think he's just trying to talk himself into it, right?
I mean, maybe he's trying to speak it into existence, but even then, you just come off as very not aware of what's going on when you say that a guy knows how to protect the football that hasn't protected the football in 7 straight weeks.
Not only that, this is a quote now, guys. Take this one in and let this ruminate through your brain cells. Quote, "It's in Dak's DNA not to turn the ball over," end quote.
Yes. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's like saying Kyler Murray is a great teammate and leader. I mean, that's just not, I mean, seriously, no, it's funny, but it's like saying,
but it would just be false. Yeah.
Right. It's just absolutely false.
You could say a lot of good things about Kyler Murray. You just can't say that.
Exactly.
There's tons of great things to say about Dak. Dak actually is a great leader. Dak does have command of that locker room. People do want to follow him into battle. Dak protecting the football is not a thing that has happened in the year 2022, 2023. It has not occurred. He leads the league in interceptions. Well, he's tied with only Houston Texans quarterback Davis Mills at 15.
And we're talking Houston Texans, Davis Mills.
Houston's going to pick second in the draft. That's just not good. And Dak didn't play as many games as Davis did. Davis played all 17.
Crazy Jerry went on to say, "I have all the confidence in the world that he as a player has all the right balance of confidence or all the right balance of aggressiveness as it pertains to a turnover. He understands turnover better than all of us put together."
I mean, he understands it better than everybody because he's doing it very often. He's got a lot of experience turning the football over.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's just Dallas Cowboy fans, that is your owner, GM, and president of football operations, Jerry Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
But we all love Dak.
He not only leads the league in raw amount of interceptions at 15%, he's also the leader in interception percentage. So of all the players who have thrown a minimum of 14 passes in a game, he leads the league in interceptions per a pass attempt. It's just,
and that's not all that Jerry has done in the last several days.
Oh boy.
Again, on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas Tuesday, they asked him whether a wild card loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football could impact McCarthy's status as a head coach. Jones was emphatic when he said, quote, "No, I don't even want to. No, that's it," he said. "I don't need to go into all the pluses or minuses. I've got a lot more to evaluate Mike McCarthy on than this playoff game," end quote. If they lose, Jerry Jones going to fire Mike McCarthy.
Well, of course he is. He said that before about what was the last coach they had?
Was it Jason Garrett?
Jason Garrett. Remember he gave him that vote of confidence 2 weeks later and fired him?
Yeah. So. It doesn't mean anything when Jerry says it. And it's not, I get why you wouldn't want to put that on a head coach right before a game, but you could easily say, this game is not going to be the deciding factor, if anything. But then, of course, you end up on the hot seat of, so you're saying there are other deciding factors, which is why I agree with Randy. maybe don't do a radio show for the week before a playoff game. Maybe that's the wisest advice he can follow.
I mean, we all know now it's the death knell if Mike McCarthy loses this game. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going to lose this game. They're not right. Their defense isn't right. Their offense isn't right. They're going to lose this game. Tom Brady has shown he can be. Tom Brady is it 7-0 or 8-0 against the Cowboys in his career?
7-0, and no person has had that many wins against a single team without losing in their career before. It's just Tom and the Cowboys.
888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, I think he was referring to a Naruto headband he wore for player intros. What?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's an anime thing.
Yeah, it's an anime thing. Jamal Williams had. I didn't see the player intro with the headband.
Oh,
he did have.
That's right. He did. I saw that.
I must have been cramming food in my face at some point.
I've been pounding like cold medicine all day. You guys can't do this to me. Naruto headband. The hell do I know about him?
I have a question.
Naruto headband.
I have a question for you. So, as an owner, would you rather have Jerry Jones or would you rather have Bidwell?
Do I have to take either one of them?
You have to take one.
I would take Michael Bidwell because we've been to a Super Bowl more recently than the Cowboys have.
That's it.
I mean, that's not a bad point. I mean, look, all of Jerry's meddling, I think, holds the Cowboys back from ultimately being a great team. They can always put together good teams, but can they put together great teams?
Jerry Jones is that typical billionaire that thinks he knows how to put together a football team. He's like a grown-up kid playing. Remember when we would all play with those figures and we'd play football with them? Or Ralph, were you old enough to remember those football games that had the board that vibrated and you had different teams and you turn that on?
I still have it.
That's Jerry Jones. That's what he's doing. He's playing football.
But he did find the recipe at one point. He did win 3 Super Bowls,
and that was with Jimmy.
Yeah, it was Jimmy.
And when he thought he was smarter than Jimmy, he gave Jimmy the axe, and they haven't been any good ever since. I mean, not at least not to the Super Bowl degree.
I mean, I think Michael Bidwell is trying to get this team going in the right direction. I think he is meaning well to get right people in right situations, but. Yeah, I think I would have Michael Bidwell over Jerry Jones any day of the week.
Where I struggle is
you realize the Cardinals have not had a head coach last 6 years in their history.
They haven't had a head coach.
Head coach has never
lasted over 6 years in their entire history.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like when we look at the I hate to bring Seahawks in, but I guess I will. You look at Holmgren come in and he lasts 8 to 10 years and builds something. Pete Carroll comes in 12 years, builds something. I mean, it takes. You look back at the old Washington team. Their what was his name? Gosh, your old coach.
I mean, Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs coming in and was there forever. Chuck Knox. I mean, just you need to find those guys. They've never been able to do that.
The Steelers have had 3 coaches in the last 50 years.
Exactly. 100% agree. I
blame that on ownership.
Well, and you probably do and that's probably correct. You're right. I mean, they need to get some consistency in there. But when you get the wrong people in the wrong positions, I mean, look at Michael Bidwell's had the wrong GM in place for how long?
Yeah, too long. Not
anymore,
finally.
So now maybe we get it right. Now we have another opportunity to get some people in there that can help this program move forward. You can't have success, though, by keeping the same stale leadership in there that's not doing anything for your team. At some points, you've got to make moves. Hell, Pittsburgh with Chuck Knox, I mean, look what they did. They won Super Bowls. Look what they've done with Mike Tomlinson. They've won Super Bowls. They've been productive. The Cardinals have not been. And, I mean, they can't draft. They can't get guys in free agency. I mean, they hit a few, but more often than not, it's not the right guys. And that's the same thing that's going on with Washington.
I mean, is that ownership's fault?
Probably.
I think ownership plays a part in that ultimately they're the ones that have to hire the right people and then get out of the way.
Right.
And I don't think the Cardinals have hired the right people. So then that kind of entices the owner to maybe not necessarily get out of the way because I have to babysit these guys basically. Yeah. You know, and I think that's been an issue for the Cardinals for sure.
I guess where he loses it with me is when he gave them both extensions last year. That's
I 100% agree. The Kyler Murray contract, wrong. and both the coaching and general manager extensions wrong.
Yeah.
It was just bad business. And now he's going to pay for it. Now he's going to see, hopefully he learns from these mistakes. Hopefully. 888-368-1580. CK says, Jesus, you guys can't even remember your own conversations. Well, have you heard the show, CK?
Are you a first-time listener?
All over the place.
King of Kittens says, rest in peace, rock god guitarist Jeff Beck passed tonight.
Oh.
Well, as Jeffrey likes to say, he had it coming. Baby God Dak says, hi, guys. I just think the biggest difference going into the Niners and Seahawks playoff game is how young Seattle's defensive players are compared to some of the veterans in San Francisco's defense. What say you, Keon Rose?
Sorry, I was taking a drink of water.
I'll read it again. So, Keon, have you got your drink out of the way?
It's out of
Everyone's
the way.
got their drinks? Good. All right. Baby God Dax says, hi, guys. I just think the biggest difference going into the Niners and Seahawks playoff game is how young Seattle's defensive players are compared to some of the veterans in the San Francisco 49ers defense.
I mean, but I think that I think that the Seahawks defensive guys are being coached by one of the better defensive coaches in the league in Pete Carroll. I think if you're on another team, maybe with less experienced coaches, but Pete Carroll's done it at USC. He's done it, at Seattle multiple times. I don't think the experience factor is necessarily the issue there for the Seahawks. I think what the issue is that they're going up against an incredibly talented team, and you're going to have to figure out which poison to choose to kill you, at least a little bit, because it's going to be impossible to stop Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and the glut of receivers that they have there. I mean, they have so many weapons, and then with Brock Purdy just making the right decisions with the football, it's just a tougher task for Seattle because I think they have the harder offense to stop. Not that Seattle's offense doesn't pose problems, but Seattle's offense has to play in a very specific kind of way where Shanahan could start throwing the ball and none of us would be shocked. They could start running the ball and none of us would be shocked because his offense can do so many things because they're further along in their development. They just have more players.
All right, go ahead, Ralph. I know you want to jump in.
Well, my first thing was, is Deebo back? Do we know that?
I haven't heard that he's back. No.
So let's hope he's not. First off, because he's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Seattle's defense. I mean, I would agree with you. If you look back at week 1, 2, and 3 when they were 6, all these rookies, they didn't look very good. They made a lot of mistakes. But as the season's gone on, they've gotten so much better. And look at Tariq Woolen. I mean, he's your defensive player of the year. Him or Sauce Gardner. Those are your two guys. I mean, he's just a stud. You can't throw on him. The rest of the guys have done a great job as well. They did lose Jordan Brooks for the season, and that does hurt. He's a leading tackler. But they've had guys step right in for him. I mean, it's next man up attitude. I don't care what year they are. He does the way he coaches these guys, as Keon's saying, defensive-minded coaches. He makes these guys what they are. That's why the Legion of Boom was what it was. It was Carroll, and the way he drafted, the way he taught these guys, and the way he teaches them to tackle. You'll never see a better tackling secondary than you will in Seattle. So I don't think that's going to be a factor in this game at all. I just don't.
When their secondary was struggling this year, that was where the inexperience was.
Yeah, that's youth.
But the throughout the season, they've just gotten better and better every single week. You don't see them missing assignments.
Exactly.
Like you see on some really bad defenses. You don't see them, with a lot of the infighting. That's a huge factor is having Pete Carroll to really settle the guys down.
And if I remember right, the last outing, McCaffrey got shut down most of that game.
Yeah, and he's been dinged up too.
Yeah, I think he had a big run at the end of the game. It was a blown thing, but before, they shut him down.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about him. I think they just got to give Purdy some looks that try to confuse that kid and maybe put a lot of pressure on him. They've been doing a great job of getting to the quarterback the last 3-4 weeks. So they got to continue that.
Yeah, I think if the defense for the Seahawks is humming, this is going to be a tighter game than people will admit. 888-368-1580. Big George throwing out some fire at you, Ralph. Be careful now. Big George says, Bruce just said that Harmon Solar was woman-owned. I didn't know Bruce was a woman. She got a deep voice. I think he means Ralph.
I think he means Ralph, yeah.
We are women-owned, absolutely. We're a top 10 women-owned business in Phoenix. So Julie King is our owner.
There you go. Boomer Sooner says, good day, gents. Screw the Cowboys. Boomer, beer me. Well, short and to the point for Boomer Sooner.
Didn't think I'd
and it was correctly spelled and everything. Yeah, I didn't have to make up words.
And I agree with Boomer Sooner.
Heavy metal maniacs talking about Cowboys. Sometimes I wonder how I'm still a Cowboy fan because Jerry Jones is an asshat.
Look, Jerry Jones, the reason I'm going to agree with Randy, by the way. I think that Michael Bidwell, I'm going to go with him just because if you look at the three teams in the NFC that have not been to a title game in the last 25 years, it's Washington, it's Detroit, and it's Dallas. Like one of these things is not like the other, you know. Detroit and Washington, we all expect that they've not been to an NFC title game. Dallas hasn't been there either, and I part of that is the owner. I mean, it's just he meddles. He gets in the way of what the general manager is trying to do. And I think that for Cowboys fans, they're just waiting for the day when Stephen Jones can take over this team, because Stephen Jones seems to be the guy that leans back a little bit and lets football guys work. When he works with them, he's not stepping on their toes, providing input. He just listens to what they tell him, and then he does it. It's that simple. And I think that the Cowboys could stand to have an owner that maybe takes his fingers out of the pot a little bit more often.
Big George on the text line says, Julie King is the owner. My mistake, Ralph. Carry on. Go Suns. Go ASU. Shooter McGavin wants to remind us that Debo played last game. News to me. I did not see it.
I saw his name come off the injury report, and I didn't see him score, but I knew he was activated.
Thank you, Shooter McGavin, for that input. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got more NFL playoff news, including Jeffrey's Colts. Wow, there was some interesting stuff out of Chris Ballard's mouth today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Roquan Smith. We'll talk about the Bengals Ravens game coming up this weekend. Big news there. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When cold symptoms keep you up, try Vicks NyQuil Severe for max strength nighttime relief. Just one dose of Vicks NyQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Get some rest and feel better with Vicks NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, sore throat, stuffy nose, fever, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed.
Starting off the new year right is so easy thanks to Kohl's. My friend and I shopped there, and with the extra 15% off, we got Tech Gear Activewear for under $23. Plus, we each found a NutriBullet blender for less than $90. And we saved 50% off Champion sweats on sale and clearance. Bonus, you can save more with a Kohl's card. More savings at Kohl's means more ways to hit those goals. Select styles, 15% offer ends January 16th. Champion sale and clearance offer ends January 22nd. Coupons do not apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Huzzah! Just night.
Huzzah!
Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Huzzah! Weekends, February 4th through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Dashes and Food City or online at arizona.rentfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Dashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Dashes and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information. Should Viagra really cost $90 per pill? We don't think so. RexMD has FDA-approved generic Viagra medication of that little blue pill starting at just $2. Why pay huge pharmacy prices when you can get the same results for a fraction of the cost? Give your bank account a break. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you'll get a starter pack prescription of industry-leading generic Viagra medication. Just call 800-504-3810. We've helped over 100,000 men with their sex lives and with getting prescription medications direct. Your consultation is free, there's no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Get your starter pack now. Call 800-504-3810. That's 800-504-3810. Again, 800-504-3810.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Daryl McCourty, long lost brother of the McCourty twins, along with the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio, Keon Rose, and just friends, Ralph Romano from Harmon Solo, joining us here on the Daily Blender on this midweek edition. Jeffrey O'Brien taking some time off. He'll be back soon. 888-368-1580. Still looking to give away a couple of tickets to tomorrow night's game for GCU. It is hippie night. So you have the opportunity to go in dressed as a hippie.
That's cool.
And partake of the GCU basketball game in a hippie environment, which is always, having grown up in that environment myself, it was interesting.
I don't think that they're going to recreate it to scale. I have a feeling it's going to be toned down dramatically.
Unshowered, barefoot people running around in corduroy pants that are the color of a puke.
Corduroy
with like a green, like a avocado green shirt.
Yeah,
nothing like that.
Going to be a little light on the paisley.
Yeah,
the
paisley.
There'll be tons of tie-dye.
Not the fashionable paisley that you would normally see. This is the eye-hurting, headache-giving paisley, where you look into it and you see your future because it's so mesmerizing. It's always moving.
But in the bad Ebenezer Scrooge kind of way, not like a good future.
Boogie asked the question, do you give D-Hop to the Saints to sign Sean Payton?
Yes. I was thinking about that the other day when this all went down. I think that's absolutely a possibility.
In case you're tuning in late and you've been living under a rock, Sean Payton and the Cardinals will be discussing the possibility of him joining us here in the great desert Southwest to coach our Arizona Cardinals. And that came down earlier today. The Cardinals receiving a permission to speak with Sean Payton from the Saints.
I got to point out right now, because it kind of got lost in the noise. Cardinals might be open to trading D-Hop. He's got a no trade clause, which means he gets to decide where he would like to go. So you can't just ship him off anywhere, any old place. It's got to be someplace he also agrees. And they're going to have to convince him. The Saints played pretty well this year, all things considered, having Andy Dalton at quarterback. So
let's say this scenario plays out that Boogie has recommended. You give D-Hop to the Saints to sign Sean Payton. Ralph says it's a hard yes for him. What do you say, Keon?
If he agrees to it, same. Because this team is going to already be not maybe in a rebuild, but certainly some kind of a restructure. And that means you're gonna want to get younger. You've got Hollywood Brown. They've already got that connection with him and Kyler. So I think you'd be more able to move on from DeAndre Hopkins, who is at the stage in his career where, he doesn't want to be on a team that's not winning. I think that he's going to struggle with that. And the Cardinals are not going to be at least winning next year. They're not going to be having Kyler out there. So their chances of being a really good team as they kind of go through this rebooting phase. Yeah, moving D-Hop makes the most sense because they're also going to want picks. But if you give them a great player, you can get away with giving them fewer picks.
Yeah, but D-Hop is aging. He's aging. Yeah. It's not going to be like D-Hop in his prime. I know he's still kind of in his prime right now. He's still one of the elite wide receivers in the NFL. You're not losing anything. You think they're still going to want a picks to go along with D-Hop for Sean Payton?
I do.
Sean Payton's won one Super Bowl, man. One Super Bowl.
One's a lot.
And he had a Hall of Fame quarterback with him to do that. And he had the support of the ownership to go and put a world-class defense and offensive line on the field.
They are going to want picks. If you just want to go off of the Gruden thing, when the Raiders moved Gruden to Tampa Bay, I think they ended up getting 4 or 5 picks, like a couple of first rounders, a couple of second rounders, and a third rounder. And Gruden hadn't done anything yet at the time he got traded. So, and that was back then. The market's definitely different. And for a guy that already has a Super Bowl, the Saints are going to want something, and it's not going to be just one receiver.
So let's just say Sean Payton is the guy. Let's say that Michael Bidwell brings in Sean Payton for whatever the price is. He's gonna shoot his his whole thing here, and he's gonna bring in Sean Payton. Does this add stability? I see you laughing over there, Ralph.
Sorry, you said shoot the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to use what it was on the front of my pointy head.
I know.
Because I know the fourth dimension, and I know you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm in no shape to barb with you.
No barbing.
No barbing. Unless it's shrimp on the barbie. What do you say, Ralph? Does this add stability to this Cardinals program that we were talking about before?
Does what add stability?
Bringing in Sean Payton.
Oh, okay. There you go. No, it doesn't necessarily add stability. It puts a person in place that can add stability. So I think it's the right move. But now do you let him do the rest of the things he needs to do? Is he going to come in and be able to help pick a GM? That would be, I still go with that. I think you should bring him in and let him have the say in who the GM is, somebody that he can work with, have that relationship with, and go after the right people. So I think, I think you're getting to a point where you're putting yourself in a position to have stability, and a guy that can get you there where you need to go with stability.
You can't have a guy like Sean Payton come in and not give him at least a lot of say, a lot of input into who the GM brings in. Maybe even give him the GM position. Let him pick the team. Let him assemble the team and put them together instead of all this. You got to bring a guy in. He doesn't have any say. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury probably had 5% say on who comes to this team. Meanwhile, it was Steve Keim putting this team together.
If I'm Sean Payton, the first thing I say in the interview is, I want to be very clear about something. If I decide that Kyler Murray is not the future, you need to be okay with me getting rid of him. And if you're not, then I don't even want to go any further in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, why waste 8 to 10 hours of a day if the ownership is not going to agree with your move?
Maybe he wants to keep him, but maybe he won't. That's something he has to decide as he gets to know Kyler.
Hamilton Porter on the text line says Steelers have only had 3 head coaches since 1969. Aren't they lucky?
Yeah, it's insane. I'm incredibly jealous of that. I'm jealous of all these teams that get to have back-to-back great quarterbacks. The Packers with Favre and Rodgers, and the Colts, they had Manning and then rolled into Luck, and they ruined that. But how lucky do you get to get that?
Yeah, I mean,
just 3 Hall of Fame coaches back to back.
It speaks a lot to the ownership group of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the ability to let these guys be who they are and put the teams together on the field. It's been a successful model for them. I wish it would work for us. King of Kittens says, Rando, is Daryl McCourty you? Yeah, see, I'm the long lost brother. I'm you got Devin, you got Jason, and then you got their other brother, Daryl. That's me.
They didn't know it until
they didn't know it.
They still don't know it, but
they're probably still in the dark about this whole thing. But listen, I mean, I can't think of more classier guys to be, brothers with. I had a lot to do in their upbringing. It's probably who they are today is because of their older brother. They'll tell you that, I'm pretty sure. Blissful Hayes, spot on with his text here, says, will Colts owner Irsay be bringing the mushrooms to hippie night? I don't think he's coming to hippie night.
I don't think so either. Don't think Jim Irsay is a GCU.
I don't think Jim Irsay knows where he is most of the time. He could show up, at the GCU game. Fighting Wampa says, I would think Sean Payton would want Hopkins in his lineup if he was to come to Arizona. That's the best way to turn Kyler Murray around is keep the talent around him. What do you say, Keon? I don't agree with that, but go ahead. What do you say?
I mean, I agree, but the issue is the Cardinals have so many holes to fill that, say they get Sean Payton and they don't move D-Hop to New Orleans. I still think that they should consider trading him to try and get some picks so that you can put more talent around Kyler, because the problem wasn't that Kyler didn't have wide receivers. They went out and got wide receivers. There's no offensive line here, and that's going to be a massive problem. Yeah. There's no backup to James Conner, that runs the ball in a similar way with a similar ability.
I mean, there was,
but then they got rid of him. So now you've got to do that from level one all over again. And then this defense, there are places where it's good, but overwhelmingly it's not a great defense either. And you're losing JJ Watt in retirement, a guy who's not just a great football player, but a great leader in that locker room. You need picks more than anything right now if you're going to bring in Sean Payton.
And I think like all the great coaches do, if he came in, the first thing he would do is he'd trade back in the draft and he'd get more picks. He wouldn't take that pick. He would trade back and he would get him some more talent is what he would do. That's exactly what Carroll does. That's what Belichick does. They've been doing it forever.
Unless you're blown away by one of those top defensive guys. Like,
amazing.
Like I think Will Anderson, if he's just sitting there when the Cardinals are picking, I think you take him. I think you really take him.
I don't think
but other than that, no, that's you got to move back and get those picks.
It is imperative for the Cardinals to get some hits, to get some home runs on starting with this new general manager and coach combination.
Yeah.
And it's important to break the drought of foul outs and strikeouts that we've had over the past several seasons.
And that's why Ralph's right. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. How many picks has Bill Belichick whiffed on? He's missed a bunch. We just don't notice because he's racked up so many picks that he's given himself the chance to hit on other ones, and those are the ones we remember. I mean, Pete Carroll's the Seahawks have whiffed on a bunch of picks too. Yeah. But again, they get so many, they give themselves more chances. They buy more lottery tickets, and it gives them more chances to land a guy that can be someone who can compete.
That's right.
888-368-1580. The Daily Blender moves on this Wednesday. So this came out today. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been ruled out for Sunday's wild card game against the Buffalo Bills. This, according to Coach Mike McDaniels, third-year pro has been in the concussion protocol since December 26th after suffering his second documented concussion. Notice the word documented concussion there in the loss to the Green Bay Packers. This puts the Dolphins in a bad situation.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to do, guys? I mean, Tagovailoa is he started out real strong with his team. He unfortunately got the undocumented concussion, then the documented concussion, then another concussion. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to make it back. Be honest with you.
I don't think so either. And I feel bad for the guy because he was just starting to get back on track in the game where he got the concussion. It was actually a hell of a play he made on the play he got the concussion. Was scrambling, made an off-schedule throw, kind of Mahomes-ish. And then when he falls, he lands flat on the back of his head. And he's out all over again.
Well, that means Skylar Thompson is their QB1 for right now. That's not going to help them at all.
Bridgewater is hurting. I like Skylar Thompson, but he's a rookie. I mean, he's just not ready. He played all right in the last game of the season. He wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible either. I do think that he's kind of in that Brock Purdy position where there's enough weapons there that if Mike McDaniel makes the offense simple enough for him, he's got a chance to be competitive in that game, and they do. But that's going to depend on the game plan and what the defense does.
What they're going to do, Randy, is lose.
It's a motivated Bills team. We talked about DeMar Hamlin is released from the hospital. That's emotional. The Bills are going to just dismantle this team.
It's a shame for the fans and for the Dolphins, but that's it. They're done. I mean,
some improvement. We'll have to wait to see what they do in the offseason. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson, he continues to be absent, and Ravens coach John Harbaugh has not ruled Jackson out returning, but he's not saying he's starting either. That's another bad situation for a Ravens team.
Lamar says he's playing, but no one else agrees. So
we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Lamar Jackson, it's certainly not helping his contract situation either. All right, 2 hours down, one to go. We've got Ralph. We've got Keon. I'm Daryl, the long-lost brother of the McCourty twins. Back with more Daily Blender after this.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong.
I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic.
Probiotics? They don't really work.
It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information. Should Viagra really cost $90 per pill? We don't think so. RexMD has FDA-approved generic Viagra medication of that little blue pill starting at just $2. Why pay huge pharmacy prices when you can get the same results for a fraction of the cost? Give your bank account a break. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you'll get a starter pack prescription of industry-leading generic Viagra medication. Just call 800-504-3810. We've helped over 100,000 men with their sex lives and with getting prescription medications direct. Your consultation is free, there's no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Get your starter pack now. Call 800-504-3810. That's 800-504-3810. Again, 800-504-3810.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 Robert Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Daily Blender on a Wednesday as we head to hour number 3, our 5 o'clock hour. Downhill slope for this Daily Blender. My name is Daryl McCourty. There's Keon Rose, sexiest man in Sports Talk Radio, alongside Just Friends, Ralph from Harmon Solar.
Jeez.
Jeffrey O'Brien taking the day off. And we are efforting our way through this 5 o'clock hour, try to get you home safe and do it with a smile on your face. And well, we're not going to go that far, but we're going to give you some, entertainment, sports and that sort of thing. Let's go back to this. You were texting in on the text line 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex, home of the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale. Let's go back to this Lamar Jackson thing, which is sad for me. And I want to ask you guys a question. So he has not played since week 13. He suffered what's being explained as a PCL sprain. Now, I don't think that's going to require any surgery. I saw the way he went down. He went down on his knee kind of awkwardly. I don't think there's any damage other than a sprain. And yet he's been out since week 13. He's missed 6 games. And he still says it doesn't feel right to him, as he's working on it and trying to get in shape to play possibly this weekend. If you're Lamar Jackson's and if you are the Baltimore Ravens, do you risk Lamar Jackson coming in for this game, because I don't think you have any crazy thoughts of making the Super Bowl this season.
I'm going to take Lamar's ideas out of this because Lamar is going to say yes. If they said, Lamar, you can go play tomorrow, Lamar, as silly as it would be, and as much money as he would be risking, would go play tomorrow. I watched how the whole RG3 thing went down, and it was essentially that. Robert Griffin said he was good to go in a game where his knee was already sprained. And Mike Shanahan let him go back out there. And the result was he destroyed his knee. And we'll never know if RG3 could have been, even better than he was or been the franchise savior for Washington. We'll never know because he went out there and played on an injury that always has the risk of getting worse. And when you have a knee sprain, it can go either way. A sprain is already some light tearing in that tissue. A full-on tear is possible after that. And if I'm the Baltimore Ravens and I'm serious about bringing back Lamar Jackson and I want him back, I don't put him out there. I don't let him go. We can negotiate in the offseason. You want to be paid this much. We want to pay you less than that. That we can squabble about that. Maybe we'll hit you with the franchise tag again, whatever it is. But we're not putting you out there. We can't do that if we think you're our franchise guy. And I don't think that the Ravens are in a position where they can really move up and get another quarterback to replace it.
What do you think, Ralph?
I kind of agree with Keon. I mean, I don't think you risk it at all. I mean, to your point, Randy, they're not going to make a Super Bowl run this year. That's not who they are. I mean, he's beat up. He's been beat up. The guy needs to be put on the shelf and that man be done with it. Let him heal up. Do his negotiation over the offseason, get his contract signed, and that is your guy. That's your franchise guy. That's who they want. They don't want to lose him. So, I mean, I think that's the right thing to do.
According to Sport Track, I guess in this article from CBS Sports says that the Jackson's market value currently projected at $245,442,090 over 6 years. You think that's a fair? You think that's a fair, contract for him?
Is that $40 million?
Something like that, yeah. Like if that, I mean, that's the going rate for franchise guys. So fair or not, if Lamar Jackson were to go on the open market, the Baltimore Ravens,
season this has happened though. Second season.
Say see ya. Some team is going to throw that money. That's just the reality of it. And all the other reality of it is they've built their entire team around what he does. That offensive line is not the best pass blocking offensive line because they're a bunch of guys that are really good at mauling people in the run game. That's what they do. So you go ahead and let Lamar Jackson leave. And I understand the injury risks. I really do. Where do you go? Who comes in and fits that offense right away? Because I don't see it.
Kyler Murray.
That would be a good fit. Yeah.
I mean, it really would. That's what he needs.
That would be the only other human being who could jump in that situation.
Why would they go with Kyler Murray? He's in Dallas, Texas right now, recovering from surgery, knee surgery. And who's to say Lamar Jackson's not going to have knee surgery too? I mean, they're saying it's a sprain, but do we really know? I don't think we do.
We don't. I'm going to trust that it's a sprain because I don't see what the point in hiding that it's a tear is. Either way, he can't play. I mean,
the possibility of him coming in makes other defensive coordinators have to think about it.
I mean, maybe, but sure. as it stands, you're not getting 100% Lamar either way. If he does play, you're going to get 50% max. Yeah. So you're not getting the version of Lamar that scares defensive coordinators. You're going to get a shell of a guy. So I'm going to trust that they're not lying about the sprain, but not all knee injuries are created equal. We just don't know how bad it is. It could be really bad.
Bengals, Ravens, you'll hear it unfold live this weekend on the Flamethrower here. We'll find out what happens, but I think the Bengals win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I know the Ravens always have this defense, and there's been a lot of talk about, the Ravens have been close and the Bengals should have won bigger, but we're talking again. I go back. We're talking playoff football here. Things change.
Joe Burrow looks scary right now.
Yeah,
he looks good, man. He's got the year. He went to the Super Bowl and lost. I mean, he's on a mission. They look good right now. So
888-368-1580. That is the text line. Good Cat says, I would think Sean Payton would want Hopkins on his lineup if he was to come to Arizona. That's the best way to turn Kyler Murray around and keep the talent around him. I think I already said that.
I think that one might have popped up already, but yeah.
Wait a minute. Fighting Wampa and Good Cat. Okay, hang on a minute here. What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Something's happened to the text line here.
That never happens.
Error retrieving custom variables.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
My JRR token has expired here.
The reliable text line going down. Say it ain't so.
Well,
the ghost of Jeffrey.
Gonna line up here again and just refire this from the top. I apologize, everybody. Let's see here. Fighting Wampa. Okay. Blissful Hayes. I agree with Ralph. If Cardinals are serious about winning, they need to release or trade Kyler Murray. Well, who are you going to trade him to right now?
I don't know who you can trade him to right now, but if you're serious about winning, you don't release it because the cap hit would be stupid. You would just be paying a guy $40 million and it would still count against your cap.
Yeah, you can't release him. I mean, like I said, you give him a year, even though he's not playing. If Sean Payton comes in, let him have a year to get to know this guy and see if he's somebody he wants to work with. And if he does, then you give him that next year. And if at that point he doesn't work, your cap hits a lot less and you find your guy.
Let's see. Good Cat says, so I was reading a rumor. Oh, great. We love rumors on this program. So I was reading a rumor that said the Jets will be going after Lamar Jackson in free agency market if he goes free agent. Okay. Well, I would imagine there would be many teams going after Lamar Jackson if he's on the free agency market.
There are teams in this league just signing any old person and praying that they actually work. I mean,
but didn't this happen last year too? Didn't Lamar go down towards the end of the season last year too? He had an injury.
He did, but it wasn't as serious as this one. This one is the one where you go when GMs that were concerned about Lamar Jackson and his playing style. This is the injury that they're going to point to and say, that's why we were scared.
I think this hurts his value, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, even the 245 on the open market, it's just not going to happen.
I don't think he gets that.
But I do think he gets to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks paid. That's going to happen. But I not the 245, I don't think. But that being said, like he's still a guy that he can win you 8, 9, 10 games just by himself.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy, but some GM somewhere is going to take that risk. Like, oh yeah, we can put talent around him for sure.
Pickle D on the text line says, I have a PCL tear. It took me 6 weeks to start dancing again. Parentheses, I'm a professional competitive dancer, end parentheses, and 3 months to get back to competition. We've learned something about Pickle D.
I didn't know this. What is the competitive dancing scene like? What you do various dances?
I don't know. This is interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, what dancing?
Competitive eaters go
like, are you like a backup dancer on a tour, or do you go on the Dancers on America or whatever it is?
Is there judges? What's the deal there?
That's crazy. Pickle D. Very well. Give us more information. We're all hungry for all the news. Good Cat says, sorry, all in on Lamar. Sorry, all in on Lamar.
Okay.
There's no comma. Sorry, all in on Lamar. Sorry, all in on Lamar. There's no parentheses. There's no punctuation. There's no.
To be fair, if you've ever heard anybody from Baltimore speak, it's
sorry, all in on Lamar.
Just kind of one run-on sentence.
So can I say suck it, Good Cat?
Wow. Wow.
Learn how to write, Good Cat. Suck it.
Wow.
Just in case you thought Ralph was going to sit here and be a punching bag. Sometimes he punches back. Just to remind you he can.
Straight fire. There.
Thank you.
All right. According to ESPN.com, guys, the Ravens are not just playing games with Lamar Jackson, they solidified a defensive player, signing Roquan Smith to a 5-year extension. The middle linebacker is now going to be one of the highest paid defensive players in the history of the league, a deal worth $100 million. That's $20 million per season. Wow. The highest paid inside linebacker in the league. Did they pay too much, or is this a good deal for the Ravens?
No, it's a good deal for the Ravens. He's one of the best linebackers in football, honestly, if not the best one. And it's hard to stress, I think, how hard it is to play linebacker in today's NFL. So much of what teams do is try to find a player on the field and put that player in conflict, basically give them some kind of impossible choice. And Roquan Smith is like never wrong about where he's supposed to be. That is so rare. It's like him, it's Micah Parsons, it's maybe Warner in San Francisco, and that's about it as far as those guys that you try and make the game seem hard for them, and they figure you out every single time. Roquan Smith is definitely that guy, and the only reason why he's not still a Chicago Bear is they're rebuilding, and they could use the picks.
Boy, I mean, but he's so young. He's what, 25 years old?
Yeah.
And he's already the highest paid inside linebacker in the league. Don't you think that all the Chicago Bear fans are crying today because Roquan's in Baltimore making money and the Bears are just kind of floundering?
I don't think they're crying just because they know where their team was. You know, I think that they want to be able to just sort of start over and go out and get their own
How
guy.
many times did the Bears start over, though?
A lot of times. But you know what? New coach, new GM, new quarterback. This is another time to start over.
All right.
You know, and all right. I think that the picks that they got back is what's going to help them. That's really where they come down on the whole issue, because I think they would love to have kept Roquan, but it's just you got to get picks in this league, and you got to be able to fill out rosters on the cheap via the draft, or you're not going anywhere.
Pickle D fills in some of the blanks for us. Pickle D says that they are ballroom and Latin dancing competitively, similar to what you'd see on Dancing with the Stars. And so you think you can dance. I do not think I can dance at all. I must be jelly because jam don't shake like this.
Wow.
That's my dancing right there.
That's pretty
I was
good.
at that wedding. I had to have 4 layers of clothing on just to keep me all encompassed. Okay.
Jeez.
Pickle D, congratulations. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing well.
That's impressive, yeah.
Good Cat says, okay, Ralph, my stupid voice text didn't work. You can suck it. I meant the Jets want to go all in on Lamar. Wow. Wow.
Well, I mean, if your stupid voice text makes you sound stupid, I guess.
Wow. Right back at you. Good Cat. Wow.
We're watching a heavyweight fight here. It's just haymakers going back and forth.
888-368-1580. According to Yahoo Sports, the Colts will do whatever it takes to get a top quarterback in the draft. That comes right out of the mouth of Jeffrey's very own Chris Ballard.
Well, you know, the fourth pick, they don't have to do too much. It's
the Colts will do whatever it takes to get a number 1 pick. The Bears have the golden ticket by way of the number 1 pick. And the Colts, according to Chris Ballard, admitted today, according to Zach Kiefer, whoever that is, he has a blue check mark. Zach Kiefer quotes Chris Ballard as saying, somewhere along the way, our competitive confidence, we lost it late in the season. When it got hard in the game, we melted down. Kiefer asked him if there's a quarterback at the top of the draft they want, would they give up heaven and earth to trade up and get him? Ballard responded, yes, I do whatever it takes.
See, why would you say that, though?
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That just because you're going to get fleeced now. Yep. You're going to pick up the phone and call Chicago. And Chicago knows you're going to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give you a number. You're going to say yes. They're going to hang up the phone. They're going to call somebody else. They're going to go right down the list. Maybe Vegas at 7 is in the market for a quarterback. Vegas, this is what Indy's willing to give us. Do you want to give us something like that? Vegas might say yes, hang up, pick up, and then they're going to move the goalposts on Indianapolis. Why would you ever say that? Yeah. There's a reason why draft season is called lion season. You are supposed to lie.
Oh, you mean lying season,
Yeah.
not lying like roar.
Yeah, not roar. No, like
it's kind of like crazy. Like, maybe the Lions were going to do something.
Well, I mean, their GM Brad Holmes has been doing an incredible job. So maybe, but no, you're supposed to be lying right now, like through your teeth.
Not roar. Like
when the media asks you if you would move heaven and earth, well, we'll consider it. We'll think about it. If a guy blows us away, you don't just sit there and say we do anything, we'd give anything. It didn't work out last year in Washington. One of the reasons why they had to settle for Carson Wentz was they were so obviously desperate for a quarterback.
Yeah,
they ended up pricing themselves out of a couple of trades that they might have had.
Wentz.
I mean, it doesn't hurt me.
Carson. It kind of does.
There's no.
I think your soul shudders just a little bit when I say Carson Wentz.
No, it could be my soul is starting to shudder when people say Ron Rivera because there have been some decisions there that are. Well, they're not thrilling. But
what has happened? I mean, why are they just now making the? I mean, okay, Andrew Luck has been gone for 5 seasons. Why are they just now arriving on the fact that they needed to get somebody in here that was better than, I don't know, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers?
I mean, to be fair, Phillip Rivers is the only guy in that group of guys that went to the playoffs.
He's the only guy that did anything positive for the Colts.
Yeah. And that the thing is they felt like they were a quarterback away. And so trying to draft and develop a guy when you've got a team that basically felt like they had a complete roster. Like there was a point where that Colts defense was really damn good, where, the running game was the motor of the team and they had good receivers, not great receivers, but good receivers. And they could just feel like they plop a quarterback in there that has some experience. He doesn't have to be perfect. So it doesn't have to be a guy in his prime, just somebody who knows what he's doing. And every year it's just gotten progressively worse with every retread that they got in there. I mean, it was bad. It wasn't even bad with Phillip Rivers. It was just never Super Bowl bound, which is what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then it got bad with Carson Wentz, but not terrible, honestly. And then it got worse with Matt Ryan. And so now here we are where you have to wave the white flag and admit, we need a quarterback.
All right, we got to take a break. I want to talk more about this because I want to hear Ralph's thoughts on this too. And I can't understand. I mean, if they have the number 4 pick, so what? Sit at number 4 and take the best quarterback you have there. You don't. I want to talk about that. I hate that GMs overthink this and they think they have to have the number 1 overall pick. 888-368-1580. I'd love to hear what the Fourth Dimension has. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The PGA Tour will start the Sony Open in Hawaii on Thursday after the Century Tournament of Championships last weekend, where Jon Rahm took home the title of an invitation-only event. Tom Kim is the favorite to win the Sony Open, plus 1,000. Sungjae Kim at plus 1,200. Jordan Spieth is at plus 1,500. Hideki Matsuyama plus 1,600. Russell Henley plus 2,100. If you're looking at a futures bet for this year's Masters in April, Rory McIlroy, the favorite to win the green jacket, plus 750. Jon Rahm at plus 1,000. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Nothing fights the winter blues like a delicious and satisfying meal. Luckily, Omaha Steaks makes it easy to stock up and fill your freezer with flavor. Save on perfectly portioned favorites, easy meals, and so much more with Omaha Steaks Freezer Filler Sale. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code SIZZLE at checkout and get $30 off your order. That's $30 off an endless variety of gourmet choices. Visit omahasteaks.com, use promo code SIZZLE at checkout to get that extra $30 off your order. Minimum order may be required.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created, but most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-87-2337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class, or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
Starting off the new year right is so easy thanks to Kohl's. My friend and I shopped there, and with the extra 15% off, we got Tech Gear activewear for under $23. Plus, we each found a NutriBullet blender for less than $90. And we saved 50% off Champion sweats on sale and clearance. Bonus, you can save more with a Kohl's card. More savings at Kohl's means more ways to hit those goals. Select styles, 15% off ends January 16th. Champion sale and clearance offer ends January 22nd. Coupons do not apply. See store at Kohls.com for details.
With LifeWell, help is here. We offer mental health and addiction treatment focused on adults with financial need. Learn about recovery and whole person health at lifewell.us and find an inspiring career to become part of our team. We're hiring psychiatrists, therapists, case managers, clinicians, and more. Start a career of hope, health, and healing. Visit lifewell.us. This message is sponsored by LifeWell and a Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust COVID Response Grant.
It's time once again for the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. First prize is $1,580 from Harman Solar. Second prize, a Zebra e-bike from Hemingway. And $500 third prize from Harman Solar. Sign up today. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. From your home for the NFL in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
A lot of activity on the flamethrower this week, like college basketball tomorrow night. UT Arlington comes rolling in here to play GCU at the big arena in Phoenix. Plus, it's hippie night. And we are giving away today 2 tickets to the game for tomorrow night's contest. Be my first caller right now. First caller at 888-368-1580. And Keon Rose has got a couple of tickets for you. 888-368-1580. You'll go to Hippie Night at GCU Arena, and that's guaranteed to be a good time. You go into Hippie Night at GCU with the Havoc and a team coming in from Texas to play the Lopes. I mean, that is a match made in heaven right there. Caller number 1 right now, 888-368-1580. Sorry, Keon, I should have warned you about that. And then Friday, we've got AIA men's basketball, but boys teen high school basketball. Scottsdale Christian taking on Mesa Christian, 7:30. And then Saturday, college basketball on the flamethrower, Kentucky at Tennessee. That's at 10 a.m. And at 2, it's the Seahawks 49ers game. Calling for bad weather in the Bay Area there, Ralph. Are you
love that?
I mean, I wouldn't be concerned, right? I mean, we're talking about 2 bad weather teams.
Yeah, bring it on.
And then on Money Radio, 1510 and 105.3, Chargers-Jags game at 6 p.m., while it's GCU at 7:45 will be on 1580 The Fanatic. Then Sunday, it's Dolphins-Bills at 10:30, Giants-Vikings at 2, Ravens-Bengals at 6, and Monday Night Football as the Cowboys travel to the Bay Area to take on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 5:30, and yes, we'll get off early for that. Lots going on this week here on the big station. We were talking just moments ago about Chris Ballard making the statement that, quote, yes, I do whatever it takes to get a top quarterback in this draft. Why do GMs, Ralph, feel like they have to trade up to the number 1 position? How many times have we seen a number 1 position fall flat on their face? And why would a genuine GM like Chris Ballard say something like that?
I just think he's trying to put some noise out there. I don't think he's serious. And when he says that, he can't be. He's not that stupid, I don't think.
And you're right. I mean, you don't need to trade up. If you're the Colts and you're sitting where you're sitting, my opinion, I mean, Bryce Young is not the guy that's going to fit in their offense. That's not the guy they want. And that's who I think is going to go first. I'm all about Will Levis if I'm them. I mean, Will Levis seems to make a lot of sense for the Colts. And I think that's who they should go after. It's kind of a natural fit for them. It kind of reminds me a bit of Andrew Luck. I would go down that road. Being number one makes. I mean, look at the picks. Like for instance, let's look at Brady. We know what round he went in. Let's look at Russell Wilson. He was a third round pick. I mean, you can get a great quarterback not in the first pick, right? You just have to. You have to be good enough.
Well, Tom Brady was a 7th round pick, right?
6th or 7th round.
We've got 2 guys in the playoffs, rookies right now, 7th rounders: Skylar Thompson and Brock Purdy.
Number one pick means nothing. That's not always the best move.
It increases the likelihood that you will find a guy, but it's not a guarantee that you'll find the guy.
We can talk about some good high picks, like I don't know, Vince Young. Was it Jamarcus? Was his name
Jamarcus Russell?
That should just not have happened.
I mean, there's guys you can look at like that, and they're just total bust. I mean, Ryan Leaf.
If I'm the Colts and I'm sitting number 4, I'm still going to have the opportunity to get a good quarterback.
Absolutely.
At the top end of the draft. It's not like the 3 top quarterbacks are going to go away. I would imagine that kid from Georgia, that Jalen Carter, that defensive tackle, he'll probably go up there. We were talking about Will Anderson Jr. a while ago from Alabama. He'll probably go early. There's that kid, that offensive lineman out of Ohio State. And then you're talking quarterbacks. If I'm Ballard, I'm not throwing all my cards to the wind and saying, yes, I do whatever it takes. I'd sell my children. I would bulldoze my house. Whatever it takes to get that first. I've got to have that first. Oh my God, I've got to have the first quarterback off the board.
I like Bryce Young a lot. I think he is the best quarterback in this draft, but I don't see such a massive gap between him and those other 2 guys, being CJ Stroud and Will Levis, that you move up ahead to go get that. I just I like him. I really do. I think you'd be crazy if you needed a quarterback and you were already there at 1 to not draft him, but to give up so much draft capital to go get him when, like you guys said, he could be sitting right there. Now, if you want to move up to maybe, 3 or 2, just to make sure that nobody else jumps ahead of you and takes the other 2 guys, well, okay, fine. But you don't have to move up to 1, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Cecil the Wonder Dog agrees, by the way. Speaking of quarterbacks, Arizona product Spencer Rattler, he was with South Carolina. Seems he's found a home, and he's very comfortable. On social media today, he announced that he's going to return to South Carolina for another season. So Rattler, who transferred to South Carolina from Oklahoma, played his best football at the end of the year, passed for 792 yards, 8 touchdowns with just 2 picks in wins over top 10 foes, Tennessee and Clemson, to close out the regular season. I think this is a great move for Spencer Rattler. What say you, Keon?
It's the smartest move he could have made, because he's got to shake off some of the stink that he had before when he was at Oklahoma. I mean, he could have been the number 1 quarterback taken, and that's just the fact. And he played his way out of that.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams stole his job, and now he's in South Carolina. And even at the beginning of the season at South Carolina, it looked like, oh boy, here comes the same old Spencer Rattler. Oh my God, what is he doing? Where is he throwing the ball? What is he looking at? And it clicked. It clicked at the second half of last year. So he's got to prove that's not a fluke. And that's the real deal. And if he can play inside the structure of an offense with all of the other skills that he has, the big arm, the mobility, and if he can prove that he's more mature than what he showed at Oklahoma, where he can actually be a leader, he'll be back in that first round conversation again.
Pickle D on the text line at 888-368 says, Levis had a garbage year. No way would I touch him first round unless he kills it in workouts and the combine.
He didn't have a great year. I wouldn't say garbage. Garbage is a little bit strong for a guy that threw 19 touchdowns. But he did take a little bit of a step back. But I'm not going to sit here and say that that guy doesn't know how to play the game. We're talking about projecting him to the NFL level. He has all of the tools and traits you're looking for from an NFL quarterback. Plus, he's gigantic. He's like 6'3", 245.
Yeah.
And he's smart. Like, that's the part that I think it really stands out. He's incredibly smart. He's at a Kentucky team that doesn't have the best talent as far as what's going on around them. Like Tennessee had better talent. Georgia had better talent. You could argue Florida had better talent. And so to be able to compete in that conference with lesser talent around you, I think scouts will look at that and adjust accordingly.
And I think that's what some of these guys miss. You just made a great point. Guys like Stroud and guys like Young, and I do like both of them, but the talent that they have around them because of the way those schools recruit, it gives them the edge on a lot of people. And sometimes it makes the quarterbacks in those programs maybe look a little better than they actually are. I'm not going to take anything away from those two guys. I think they're both really good, but it does make them a little better. When you're playing at Kentucky, think about it. You're at Kentucky. You don't have that kind of talent around. I agree with you 100%.
Kentucky's not a football school.
Right. Will Levis is going to be a good pro. He has all the tools, like Keon said. He gets in the right program with the right quarter. Did I say white? With the right quarterback coach. He's going to be really good.
888-368-1580, talking some NFL football. I want to change direction here. Last night in the NBA, there was some activity. There was one of the Heat players was ejected after a massage incident. Let's go to the game. The Heat's Dwayne Dedman thrown out of the game after he launched a massage gun onto the court during the game.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently he didn't like what was going on. He got into a heated discussion on the bench, which is another situation where Eric Spoelstra and one of his players are not in agreement together here. This time, Dedman throws a massage gun right out on the court. They had stopped the game. He gets thrown out because he threw the massage gun out there. I mean, good night. What's happening in Miami with Eric Spoelstra and his players? His second incident this year.
Yeah, the other one being the Jimmy Butler incident where they had a nice little blow up on the sideline there.
Yeah.
But I just think Eric Spoelstra is in that Mike Tomlin players coach kind of mold. And so those guys express themselves and he lets it happen. And this is too far. You can't throw things out onto the court, obviously. But that's part of what the Miami Heat are, and people thought, last year when they had the blow up with Butler and everything, that was going to derail them. And then they had a really good run to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not going to read into this that they can't get it together. There's something wrong with their locker room. That's just how their locker room functions. I think it's crazy to do it that way. But that's how he does it.
Just a high energy, a very high competitive locker room.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
He wants guys that'll compete, that'll want to speak their mind. If you feel like the offense is not working a certain way, don't sit down on the end of the bench and grumble about it. Say it, and people are going to disagree with you. And the result of that is that when they overcome a lot of that, they end up being a really close knit bunch of guys. They won the game.
After Dwayne Dedman threw the massage gun out on the floor, I guess Jimmy Butler just went ahead and picked the team up on his shoulders and took them on in. And they ended up beating Oklahoma by 1 point. What was cool about this was Jimmy Butler was 23 for 23 from the free throw line. And as a team, I think it's for the first time ever, they were 40 for 40 from the charity stripe in the win last night. So wow. The massage gun incidents must have, loosened them up so that they could play good in Oklahoma.
I mean, that's part of it. Cause they were going up against Oklahoma City. That was like a breakout game for, Oklahoma's young player, Josh Giddey. He had a triple double, I think his first in his career, but they play well together when they've got a little bit of that chaos going on. And I don't understand it myself, but Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. He makes it work. And when you have Jimmy Butler, someone who's willing to do all of the dirty work, because that a lot of stars don't want to do what Jimmy does. Jimmy will go to the basket. He'll get beat up. He doesn't mind physical play. When the refs don't blow the whistle, that's actually when Jimmy's at his best. This team's culture is one that's just built around toughness. And I think it's hard for everybody else on the outside to really get it in a modern NBA that doesn't have a whole lot of that. But that's how this team's built.
888-368-1580 is the text line. Pickle D says Bobby Knight flashbacks. Well, Bobby Knight, he didn't throw a massage gun out. He threw a chair out on the floor. And
Dedman didn't throw it. He slapped it, I think, out of someone's hands or something.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he slapped it. Yeah. But yeah, Bob Knight went full. I took the chair, I folded the chair, I launched the chair out to half court.
Well, he just wanted a better chair. That's all he was trying to accomplish.
That's true. You know, that was the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, you just throw it. Maybe the massage gun battery was dead or something. Who knows?
Oh, that could have been it. You know, he needed a quick massage there on the bench, and this thing's not working. Slammo. You know, but Baker's cocky hen says Stetson Bennett more of an athlete than Tom Brady. Why is he not being talked about at all? He's a hell of a lot better than Mac Jones ever was.
No. Easy there. Did you see what Mac did when he was at the Alabama? I don't know about that. And Tom Brady has no athleticism in his legs. Tom's arm has always been magnificent. I don't think that you can say that. Stetson Bennett doesn't have the arm that Tom Brady in his prime does. Stetson Bennett might not have the arm that Tom Brady has right now.
And that's why Brady got drafted where he was. And if Bennett gets drafted, it'll be late round.
I don't know. According to Choro, he's retweeting the AB, says from Newsmax that Bills' DeMar Hamlin was released. I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
I saw that.
It was, yeah. He got released late this morning.
Oh, well, I don't know what to think about this.
It's good news. Really good news.
Oh, released from the hospital.
From the hospital, yeah.
Oh, the way it was written here, it looks like that the Bills released it.
Oh no. Yeah, that'd be a bad move on their part.
Yeah.
No, they actually figured out a way to pay him through being on IR. I mean, they're taking care of him.
Yeah, I thought I heard that he was being paid. I wanted to make sure there. Yeah. One of the other things that I read today on Yahoo Sports, did you guys know that Joe Burrow, Sam Hubbard, and some of the other guys in professional sports are buying farms? They bought an
Blake
Iowa
Griffin's
farm.
one of them.
Who?
Blake Griffin's one of them, too.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. Yeah, Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Kevin Gossman. They're spending $5 million or more to buy U.S. farms, with their first purchase coming in in Iowa, 104-acre farm in Hawaii. In why do I keep saying Hawaii when it's in Iowa?
I think that's what you want.
I'll go to Hawaii and buy a farm. Hell yeah!
Why are they buying farms?
See, they are putting in on this because of the amount of money they can make. It's an investment firm is facilitating the deal. But they're saying about two dozen players have put money in on this. They're leasing it back to the farmers so they can make money on it. And the Iowa farmland they bought was hot last year, with several new price records established, driven by high prices for corn, soybeans, and other crops. They're talking about also jumping in on farms in Oregon. They're talking about some other farms. So it looks like these guys are investing in the futures of our food industry. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's kind of
I wouldn't imagine Joe Burrow's a farmer. I mean, he's got too much swag to be a soybean guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he had a giant, giant diamond necklace that just said Joe. Not exactly farmer material.
Joe.
But whoever's buying a farmer in Portland ain't going to be, farming soybeans.
No, it's going to be watermelons, I think, probably.
It's going to be green, I guarantee you.
All right, 888-368-1580. Got to take a break. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia sports history, I've got a little, I actually have a wheel of sports here. And of course, your texts and some parting thoughts from Ralph and Keon. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name is Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Football fans, call your own plays during the NFL playoffs with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Hi, Randy from the Blender. When you bet the NFL same-game parlays from now through January 16th, all customers can get up to $150 back in free bets, win or lose. All you have to do is place your total of $20 or more on NFL same-game parlays or same-game parlay plus bets during the wild card round. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a larger payday. New to FanDuel, you can get up to $1,000 back in free bets, win or lose, when you sign up with my promo code Randy1580. That's promo code Randy1580, and make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You've got to be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $100. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong.
I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic.
Probiotics? They don't really work.
It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
Arizona offers thousands of helpful resources for service members, veterans, and their families. But navigating the system can be confusing and overwhelming. Call 866-4AZ-VETS to talk directly to caring people professionally trained to help you. Get connected to resources and benefits at no cost. Just call 866-4AZ-VETS now. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is hour 3 of the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, January 11th. Taco Kenny, I'm not sure what you mean. Taco Kenny on the text line at 888-368-1580 says, Jeffrey, is there a lion roaring around the city of Phoenix? Go Lakers. Is somebody in a state of mind that you can help me understand what Taco Kenny is talking about here?
I mean, I heard a lion earlier on the show.
No, that was me.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
It sounded like a real lion.
No, it was me. Yeah, I do animal. I don't know if you know, I do the antelope skill call.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one.
Yeah. And I'm spot on if I say so myself. Big George is asking, Randy, can you do caller 1580 for the hippie night tickets? That should keep Keon busy for a while.
Now, why would you say something like that?
That's Jewish.
Big George, what's going on with us, Big George? We got to clear the air here because I'm confused. You were trying to keep me busy at work. You're trying to marry me off on Twitter.
What's the situation from Twitter last night between you and Big George? Big George shows a picture that he's found the future Mrs. Keon Rose, and it's a lady in one of those Avenger lady costumes. Wasn't she in like a lady stretchy suit?
Yeah,
from the Avengers or something.
Yeah, some kind of spandex suit.
And she had like a flaming arrow in her mouth. Was it in her mouth or was she just holding it for a while? And then all of a sudden got up on some sort of a beam, did some sort of acrobatic stretchy move with her legs, took the bow and the flaming arrow with her toes, shot the arrow using just her toes while doing this inverted gymnastic thing.
Yeah, it was
shot like a balloon or something from 10 feet away using nothing but her toes.
I didn't see that because I don't think Keon is friends of mine on Twitter for whatever reason.
That was amazing.
That's unfortunate. I'm going to fix that later.
Don't know what the hell.
What's your Twitter handle?
Wow.
It's SportsCloud1580.
SportsCloud1580.
Yeah, I used to have a blog. That's what the blog was called. Jeffrey makes fun of me all the time for,
as he should,
the fact that the blog no longer exists, but I don't give up on the name. Listen, I've wanted to be in sports media basically my entire life. And that blog was my first step. That was very important to me. So that's why the name's that. And it's not changing. I just added the 1580 at the end.
Well, can you do caller 1580 for the hippie night tickets? Big George says. No, it's caller 1-888-368-1580. Caller 1 right now if you want GCU tickets.
Against UT Arlington, the Havoc are going to be crazy.
Hippie night.
I don't know if UT Arlington's very good. So if you want to see the Havoc really go crazy, that would be the game.
I wonder if the Big George gal with the flaming arrow will be there tomorrow night at GCU Arena.
I doubt it. Where is she even from? Like, nothing about Big George's Twitter-based matchmaking makes any sense to me. How am I supposed to contact this
Big George he's a sentimental, kind of sensitive guy. Yeah, no, he's a giant. No, don't get me wrong. He's 7 feet tall. Legitimately 7 feet tall. But he's a sensitive guy.
Which I understand. But he's not trying to match me with somebody he knows. He's matching me with somebody neither of us knows. I just don't understand.
Is it an anime thing or
not that I could tell?
It was. I don't know. It was out of left field.
It's just a very impressive thing that she did.
Very athletic.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. CK says Deshaun Watson must have been in attendance last night and needed the massage gun. That's why he threw it across the floor.
Oh, he saw him on the other side of the arena. It's like, Deshaun, here you go.
Here you go. Here you go, man. Charlie Boy says, Ralph, are you in a cave? Nice. Pour me a soda, Mr. White, and please and thank you. Well, I mean,
I don't think I am.
I mean,
you know what? It might be. Ralph, when you logged into the Zoom meeting, did you select audio?
I don't think I did. Maybe. I don't hear an echo or anything. I don't hear it eating back.
Well, anyway, Baker's Cocky Hen says, Bennett is a student of the game, makes the right decisions, keep drafting guys like Kyler Murray and see how that works for you. Pretty confident he can outplay Russ Wilson or Geno Smith today.
I've seen I've seen a billion Stetson Bennett's, which is guy that is in college for a million years, is really good because he's in college for a million years. You wouldn't have that dude be your starter on the NFL. Could he go out there and surprise me and earn it? Yeah, it's possible. But he's a really good college player who could probably be a quality, NFL backup. I don't think he's a starter.
He could probably hold a clipboard really well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's smart, but come on.
Baker's Cocky Hens also says, how'd that 6th Lakers win in a row go? Wow.
Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming.
Spitting fire out here, isn't it?
It is coming.
Big George, Ralph, I tagged you in the post, but your Twitter account is protected, so you might not have seen it. Sorry, Keon, just trying to find you that extra special lady since I heard you were no longer with your girlfriend.
How? Big
We'll
George?
Find you a lady someday. Big George is not giving up on this.
I understand, but Big George, I'm trying to understand the logistics of this. Big George.
888-368.
You don't know her, and I don't know her. Let's say I agreed with you, and this is somebody I wanted to date.
Well,
what? How would we? How would that work?
Well, you wouldn't. Let me give you a piece of it. After seeing that last, you would not want to piss her off.
That is true because
she literally could kill you with just using her toes,
just her feet. Yeah, just bow and arrow me to death, and I have no recourse.
Flaming arrow.
That's true. It was on fire. It was also on fire.
Talk about your hemorrhoids. All right, it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1987, John Elway led the Denver Broncos to a 23-20 overtime victory over the Browns to win the AFC Championship. Elway capped a 15-play, 98-yard march with a 5-yard touchdown pass to Mark Jackson to tie the game with 37 seconds remaining. Rich Karlis then proceeded to kick a 33-yard field goal in overtime to give Denver the win. Broncos would go on to lose to Bill Parcells and the New York Giants 39-20 in Super Bowl XXI at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Keep telling you guys I don't do Roman numerals.
XXI.
XXI.
21.
Maybe 21, Randy.
I don't really care.
And that was a great.
This is not Rome, and we're not doing Roman numerals. We got time. We got time, right?
We do. We got like.
All right. I've got some I've got a nice wheel of sports here. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel of sports. I didn't know, guys, the chicken industry was so treacherous. Tyson Foods chicken CFO, John R. Tyson. Maybe you've heard the name before. Apparently, got in some trouble recently. He was out in the town, and he was embarrassed after he was arrested on following a bizarre incident in which he entered a stranger's home and passed out in her bed. The 32-year-old heir of the Tyson Foods empire was charged with public intoxication, criminal trespassing. He reportedly is the great-grandson of the company's founder and was considered a potential future CEO candidate prior to the arrest.
Wow.
If you could see the video.
Must be good.
I wish I knew how to put this on my Twitter account. I really do. Because he's shirtless and he's got like orange pants on in the sheriff's office.
How is this happening?
Quote, the 32-year-old heir of the Tyson Foods empire says, I am embarrassed for personal conduct that is inconsistent with my personal values, the company's values, and the high expectations we hold for each other here at Tyson Foods.
I would retire. There's not very many situations where you instantly just have to retire that doesn't involve being the worst person. It doesn't seem like a bad guy, but I would retire.
A college-aged female was very alarmed that a male who she did not know was inside of her residence uninvited. This happened just days before Tyson was slated to speak on the company's earnings call for the first time as CFO.
Wow.
Oops.
You have to retire, right? Like, I'm sure. Look, you didn't even get your first real act as CFO in, and I don't care.
Oh, you got it in.
Oh, he got it in. Mm-hmm. Got one more here. I did not know the chicken industry was so treacherous.
Oh, it's something.
According to Yahoo Sports, Travis Kelce, who played at the University of Cincinnati and is a current Kansas City Chief, expressed his dislike for a local staple in Kansas City. He was on his brother's podcast, and the co-host asked Chiefs quarterback if he planned to stop by any Skyline Chili outlets when the Chiefs visited Cincinnati earlier this season. The Chiefs played the Bengals earlier this season. Mahomes said he's not really a chili guy. Travis then revealed he's not a fan of the iconic chili powder. If I look at it and it looks like that, I'm not eating it, Kelce says.
I'm glad he said it.
If it's coming out the way it looks going in, I'll just get the noodles that comes with it.
Oh my gosh.
The Skyline Chili doesn't look like food. It just, no one should eat it. And
it looks like dog food.
Yeah, it doesn't look like something you should serve to people. And they do. My
son-in-law loves the Skyline Chili.
How?
I tried it one time. Oh my God, it was rough.
It was rough.
You have to have just no taste. And I mean that in every sense of the word to enjoy Skyline Chili.
Kelce did say Grater's ice cream is the only thing I'm snagging. If I'm snagging anything Cincinnati-wise. Wow.
Also, that podcast is hilarious. The two of them are just funny.
If it looks like that, I'm not eating it.
I've said that before. I've used it.
All right. Well, that's going to put a wrap on the Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender. Ralph, you be back tomorrow?
I think I can.
It's our NFL. Next time, don't show up, underwater. Don't select Connect Audio.
So Connect Audio every time, guys.
It's a hard no there. It's a hard no. For Keon Rose and for Ralph, I'm Randy White. You thought I was Daryl McCourty. Crazy kids. See you tomorrow.
Considered the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton